Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasul. Sorry, I have to switch channels. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Welcome to today's show on the Apostate Prophet, the greatest show on the planet, viewed by millions of people around the world, divided by 10. David, what's up? How you doing?
What's up? Just sharing the link. Sharing the link. Got to share the link. I could probably do that right before we start, but
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing it now.
That's good. That's good. At least you're doing it sometime. I don't know. So today we want to talk about some very, very interesting things that we want to talk about, namely about Piers Morgan teaming up with what's his name again? With Douglas Murray, confronting two Muslim or Hamas apologists. And lots of people said it's apparently very good on Douglas Murray's behalf. I personally haven't watched it because I like to go into these things
You
without
haven't?
watching it at all.
I haven't either. I haven't watched 1 second of it. So that's cool. Normally one of us has seen at least some of it.
Yeah. People say it's cool. Muslims say they got destroyed. Well, Muslims, they destroyed Piers Morgan. They humiliated the Islamophobes and so on. So yeah, let's see.
It's interesting because I've seen both sides sharing stuff. I've seen people sharing that Douglas Murray crushed these dudes. I've seen, of course, if you go to I went to the comment section of the video and it was like, oh, Piers couldn't even answer what terrorism was. Ha ha!
I saw that.
Crushed him. He crushed him. So yeah, I'm actually interested in what happened here.
And Mohammed Ajab was saying, Gutless Murray got humiliated or something like that. So let's see what happened. And let's see
why stuttering?
Why they're stuttering. Let's have a look at that. First off, but before we do that, David, what's up? How you doing?
Yo, how you doing, man?
Good. All right.
Hey, you know it's weird. Every time we once we started going live like 3 or 4 times a week, now every time we go like 3 or 4 days without live streaming, it feels like a month.
I know.
Yeah, I'm sitting down. I don't know how to use anything. It's been so long. It's like, what are you talking about? It's been a couple days.
I know. It feels like we haven't done anything in like in an eternity. Yeah. So, and by the way, we're going to be live tomorrow as well. So, and tomorrow we're going to talk about something even more interesting, I shall say. So,
we need to eventually get to that that law against Quran banning.
Oh, we do. I saw this
law against Quran burning.
I saw this clip earlier. I just wanted to play this quickly. I didn't check it for language, but I found it funny. And people were saying Destiny, Destiny, or something like that. Let's see.
Okay, here. Also, hold on. I want to be like very, 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 very clear here. I want to be very, very, very clear here because people seem to misunderstand this. People don't get this. Destiny's joke borders pretty hard on Islamophobia. I am Islamophobic and I hate Islam. I'm an atheist. Yes. I will make Islamophobic jokes because I do hate Islam and I am Islamophobic. Yes. I am an atheist. So let me repeat that. I don't know how many times I need to say that. If you're ever surprised, like, doesn't he hate like Christianity or does he hate like Islam? Yeah. The answer is yes, I do. I'm an atheist. I hate all these fucking religions, of course.
Okay. Well,
everyone hear that? Everyone hear AP posting a clip about hating all religions, especially Christianity. Y'all catch that? See, look at. By the way, look at how AP does that. See, I'm not saying it. I'm just playing the clip of someone who said it.
I personally wouldn't do it, but we have gangsters. You think we don't have gangsters?
we can't control our atheist gangsters.
We can't control our atheist gangsters. I don't hate all religions, but we have gangsters, and I can control them if they say I hate all religion. Yeah, no, I saw a clip of him saying something like, "Yeah, I am Islamophobic. I hate Islam." Because it's funny because lots of the times these influencers online try to make these explanations like, "No, it's not Islamophobic. No hate. It's just I just want to call out problems." And this guy is just like, "Yes, I hate Islam." I love the guy. Anyway, let's jump into this.
And Christianity.
I didn't hear that part.
The associate editor of The Spectator, the co-founder of the Muslim Debate Initiative, Abdullah Al-Andalusi, and Dr. Izzeldin Abuleish, the Canadian-Palestinian medical doctor, who's joined me again in the studio. And great to see you. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. Let me start with you, if I may.
But for a little background here, I'm not sure if you watched the other interview, the other discussion that Piers Morgan actually had, because this here is a follow-up to that. I watched it here live on my channel several days ago without you. This one.
Talk about
this conversation with this doctor who is also the head of the British Hizb ut-Tahrir, who want to establish a caliphate. And this guy refused to condemn Hamas. He said that their acts were justified, that no atrocities took place on October 7, that he would condemn something like targeting civilians, women, and all of that if it happened, but it didn't happen, and all that kind of stuff. So Piers Morgan is outraged about this, and now he invites these other Muslims to talk about this and talk about whether this guy should be condemned or not. That's the background here. Just so you know. Okay.
Dr. Abuleish, when you saw that interview, what was your response to the fact that it's an NHS doctor working and living in this country who was saying those things?
I'm a medical doctor.
It's important. I am coming, I heard it. I heard many of your interviews. Jihad, the word jihad. My presence here is jihad. When I'm coming to meet with you to advocate for my Palestinian people and for saving lives of the people is jihad. And this is the highest level of jihad. The resistance against someone who is invading you, this is the lowest level of jihad. But jihad...
This is jihad. My presence here is jihad. David, what is jihad? And is jihad is just something just like... just as simple as saying, well, there's nothing wrong with saying jihad because when I get up and I need to go to the toilet because I need to pee like really, really bad, that's also jihad. Yeah. So what do you think?
Notice you're joking right there, but that is eerily similar to the My Jihad campaign from a couple years ago, where there were all these were all these billboards and bumper stickers and signs and trains and saying my jihad is getting to the gym even despite my busy schedule. My jihad is getting my kids to school on time. What's your jihad? And so they're just they're playing on the fact that the word jihad means struggle technically, and therefore, well, anytime you're struggling, even if it's to go to the bathroom or something like that, well, that's jihad. And hey, if I had to work hard to get to the studio here and have this discussion, well, that was a struggle. I had to struggle, a little bit of a struggle. I had to work it into my schedule. It's a struggle, and therefore that's jihad. Problem is, we know yes, there are all kinds of different forms of jihad. The relevant form of jihad is striving somehow for Allah's way to be supreme. And Muhammad was asked, what's the best form of jihad? And it was the jihad involving violence. Very clear on that one.
Yeah. So there is no need here to distract with these to use these diversion tactics and to say, oh, jihad is no problem because my presence here is also jihad. And,
it's jihad. This is jihad.
Yeah.
And Islam means peace. Quran says if anyone kills a man, it's as if he's killed all mankind. What's your problem? Come on. There's no compulsion in religion. What are you, stupid?
Yeah, when Palestinians work, when they go poop, it's also jihad. That's not how it works, man. It's like there is a clear context here. Jihad, fighting in the name of Allah with your life, with your weapons. If you're fighting against the enemy of Islam and you fight your jihad, then that means fighting for Allah. That's how it works. I can also say Hitler's Mein Kampf. I always have to think of Hitler because I think of nothing else in my life ever throughout my daily life. But so when you think of Hitler, for example, Hitler's book Mein Kampf is very funnily enough also translated as my struggle, because Kampf is fight, but it's also struggle. Jihad could also be translated as struggle. You could basically apply the same thing there and say, Mein Kampf just means my struggle. It's just, Hitler was just talking about the, staying strong and the difficulties in life. So what's your problem? Stop being Nazi phobic, you idiots.
Mhm.
That's nonsensical, man.
It's pretty lame. Anyway, Sunan ibn Majah, 2794. It was narrated that Amr bin Abbasa said, I came to the Prophet and said, O Messenger of Allah, which jihad is best? He said, that of a man whose blood is shed and his horse wounded. And you can go to the relevant passages in Bukhari and Muslim and An-Nasai and Ibn Majah and get a description of the relevant kinds of jihad. One, you're fighting to establish keep in mind, it does not have to always mean physical fighting. They talk about things like jihad of the pen and jihad of the tongue and so on, and jihad of the heart, and these are different forms of jihad based on what you can accomplish in the situation you're in. So if you can fight, that is the kind of jihad you are supposed to be waging. That is the kind of jihad that is best. Sometimes you're in a position where you're completely outnumbered. Okay, then you do jihad with your speech. But I mean, this is the greatest form of jihad appearing on your program. Come on, dude.
Yeah, fantastic. The biggest form of jihad.
When I'm traveling, when I am going to any place, even someone who is dying because of far away from his home is a kind of jihad. When we are fasting, when we are walking, walk is a jihad. And that's the most important. We need to understand it, not to take it out of the context.
No, Mr. Piers Morgan, when you hear somebody say kill them all, you shouldn't take this like in a bad way, because when I say I make a lot of money, we also say I'm making a killing. So it's not a bad thing. We have to think about the context. So because of that guy said kill them all, that doesn't mean anything. It might just mean make lots of money. Yeah.
In the limited understanding of it. When I am invaded with a disease, COVID, what do? I have to resist the COVID. And that's when we face cancer disease, any cancer.
With respect, you would not categorize October the 7th as a resistance.
It's, I condemned the killing of any...
It is very nice that Piers actually just cut through that and just asked that question. That's cool.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's like all the Islamic apologetics that I'm seeing on the internet for the past 6 months is stuff that was like from 15 years ago, and I thought we were done with it, and now it's all making a comeback because of like TikTok and stuff. And then guys like this who are from that period who were spouting this nonsense 15 years ago, and they don't realize that it's been completely crushed since then. All of a sudden they get a chance to renew it. Yeah. Look, watch. 10 minutes from now is going to be like, and because the Quran, which, as we all know, has been perfectly preserved right down to the letter, and the scientific miracles of the Quran. Wait, what? That's been debunked? Oh, I did not know.
Yeah.
Innocent human being. And for me, I was born, my daughters were killed before October 7th.
Yes, I know.
I was born as a Palestinian refugee before October 7. My parents were refugees before 48. Yes. They were born in Palestine. So the history didn't start. The world is not created October 7th. That's what we need. And we are today.
But
it's important. But let me.
What's funny, by the way, is when you search for occurrences of the word jihad in the Quran, you will find it being used all over the Quran for fighting for Allah, fighting in the cause of Allah.
With respect,
continue.
I don't think
Let me continue. Let me continue, please.
Right.
Today is the 12th of December. Today is the 12th of December, where we have more than 23 Palestinians, 1,000 are killed. More than 45,000 are severely wounded. Even the damage.
I'm sorry, but so what? So what? So what? What in the world is that supposed to mean? Because there is a higher death count on your side, that means that you are right. That means that the other side is wrong. because there is a higher death count on your side, that means there is an injustice happening. Because there is because your side is getting destroyed, that means that your side is right. Should we say the same thing about Nazis in World War II?
You could go straight back to the time of Muhammad. Muhammad versus the Jews of Qurayza. Who had the higher death count?
Yeah. They were annihilated. They were exterminated. Every single man, and man there is has a very vague definition. Everyone with what was it? With hair. Was basically killed, was executed. And this didn't just happen once, not only in that incident. It was also, collective punishment was also applied in different instances against the other Jewish tribes, against other non-Jewish tribes and people. Does that mean that Muhammad was an oppressor and the Muslims were wrong and the other side was right in all of these conflicts?
In the Gaza Strip as Borrell, the representative of Foreign Affairs in the European Union. It's far beyond the damage in Germany for 6 years. In 2 months, more than that. So even, you know, how
that's not true, actually.
Why?
No. There was far.
He said that.
Who said that?
Borrell, the representative of the European Union, the Foreign Affairs.
Yeah, but far more people died in World War II than have died.
No,
in
the
war.
damage. The
Structural damage.
The destruction.
Well, there certainly would have been more damage in Germany in World War II.
He mentioned that himself.
But
I haven't heard that. Although, considering the density of Gaza, not sure what exactly this is supposed to mean. But again, I don't know if the representative of the European Union said something like that, but I don't know. Yeah.
That won't be factually accurate. But here's my question, though, for you. It all comes back to me. I'm very happy to platform anybody on this show, right to the point where they try and convince me that what happened on October the 7th was not an act of terror. And when people refuse to concede that point, I find it very hard then to have a civilized discussion. It's why I got so annoyed last night.
Well, can we?
So if I may interject,
the killing of my daughters as terrorists?
Well, I think it was.
Well, can we? So if I may interject,
the killing of my daughters as terrorists?
Well, I think it was appalling, and I think
Do you consider it as terrorist?
I do not consider Israel to be a terrorist organization.
The killing of my daughters?
I think here's a question we have to ask ourselves, which is, since you have defended...
What a stupid deflection. It's,
I thought Douglas Murray was in this.
He's going to come in later, I think. I understand that the guy has a personal loss, but I'm sorry, but you can't appeal to the emotions, as sad as it is, and then try to twist the definitions in this conversation. You can't deflect by bringing your emotions into this. I'm sorry, but there is a clear definition for terrorism, which is there for a very specific reason, and that definition does not apply when an army responds to terrorist attacks.
Yeah, and people could agree with him on certain issues and to certain extents and so on, and say, yeah, I'd be pissed off too if my daughters were collateral damage and so on. I might be enraged too. All of that's true. What does that have to do with whether October 7th was terrorism? Yeah. What's that got to do with it?
Exactly. That's the question here. Why can't the very simple question here not be answered properly?
Israel's operation in Gaza as self-defense.
Don't misquote me. Don't misquote me.
So you don't say it's part of self-defense?
No, let me clarify.
Okay.
I've defended Israel's right to defend itself, right? In fact, they have a duty to its civilians after Hamas's repeated threats since October the 7th to repeat it, to defend its civilians.
So is the war in Gaza not self-defense, or is it according
let me just clarify my position so you know, right?
Yeah.
However, I have repeatedly questioned the proportionality of Israel's response, as indeed their greatest allies.
But not the response itself.
Now doing.
But not the response itself, though.
I think they're perfectly entitled to go and take out Hamas.
So may I continue my...
What in the world is wrong with the response? Should Israel not respond to this? I don't even get it.
question then. I'll
Yes.
ask you. So since, as I repeat, since you have justified their response, maybe not how they've carried it out exactly, but you justify their response as self-defense.
Their right to defend themselves by taking out the terrorists
their right to
who committed that atrocity. Yes.
Okay. And presumably you refuse to call Israel, and you have refused when you've been asked to call Israel a terrorist organization, government, or the idea of a terrorist organization.
Well, the difference is here we
How?
are. Hang on. In London,
No. Let me finish my question, Piers. I have a question for you.
I must
Let
clarify.
me finish my question.
You're making some statements that are a
okay.
bit misleading.
Sure.
This country considers Hamas to be a prescribed terror group. They do not consider Israel to be a terrorist organization, and nor do I. So that's the position.
But
I'm not asking
you. The United States
I'm not asking.
consider
I'm not
Don't
asking.
talk over each other.
It's important.
I'm not asking the British government. I'm asking you, Piers.
I don't think
the
Israel's
British
a
government
terrorist.
isn't here.
I
Okay.
do not think they're a
So
terrorist
then
organization.
now let me
No.
finish my question, if I can ask the question as well, right, for us to discuss. So considering that you have justified the operation that Israel initiated as self-defense, and that you refuse to call Israel a terrorist organization or a terrorist government, despite the fact that almost as many Palestinians, Gazans have died under Israel's precision bombing than as Londoners have died during a whole year of the Blitz under German bombing.
What does this have to do with anything? And how in the world does this mean that they are therefore engaging in terrorism, or that they are terrorists? Why can't these guys just employ some, the basics of logic here and stick with actual definitions that we have for these conflicts and for geopolitics for very simple reasons?
Yeah, I have to say, I kind of agree with a lot of people who complain about Piers that no matter who he brings on, he spends the first 20 minutes of every show trying to get them to condemn October 7th and say that it's terrorism. And then, of course, every time they flip it back and what about Israel? What about Israel? What about Israel? I don't know. I would really prefer on to what should Israel do, guys? Tell us exactly what Israel should do according to you. What do you think they should be doing differently that would actually work? We are granting their claim that they have to destroy Hamas. Given that goal, how can they accomplish that in some other way that would be more acceptable to you? I would be much more interested in that than whether he's going to get these guys to condemn terrorist attacks or call it terrorism or something like that.
That's exactly what should be happening. He should be asking the question, so what do you think the response should be? And he actually did that on several occasions, including when for example, when he invited Mohammed Hijab and others. He said, okay, I get it. I understand you're angry about the proportionality and the response, but what exactly should they be doing? And there is no realistic response here, no realistic alternative. But it would be very interesting to see what they would say in response to that question, because right now all they are doing, all this guy is doing, for example, is, well, no matter what October 7 was, is it correct of Israel to respond? And if, as a result of Israel's response, lots of civilians die, then doesn't that mean Israel is a terrorist organization? Simple answer: no, it doesn't. Especially not when you have a country where this terrorist group deliberately builds tunnels under the civilian population and hides there, attacks the enemy, then hides under the civilian population and operates from there. Are we really supposed to think that those guys are the good guys and that those guys don't want the civilian deaths?
Hey, do you know what Piers should have said? This would have been awesome. Ready? This would have been awesome. Said, hey, you guys are talking about the disproportionate killings and so on. Some have even said that it's 100 to 1. Hey, Abdullah Al-Andalusi, you work with Mohammed Hijab. Do you condemn Mohammed Hijab's blatant lie? His easily falsified claim that for every one Hamas fighter that Israel kills, they take out 100 civilians. Do you condemn that lie? That's what he should have been doing.
Yeah. This reminds me of this stupid tweet that I saw earlier from this propagandist idiot Syrian girl which is like, so this guy posted Israel Defense Forces in action fighting Hamas in Gaza, and she then said Israel committing genocide right now, refusing to go into the tunnels to fight Hamas like men. Do you see the irony in this tweet here? What?
That's so hilarious. You could do an entire video on how dumb that is, guys. Does everyone see it? Because AP's right; it's obvious. She's condemning Israel for dropping bombs instead of going into tunnels to fight the people who are hiding in the tunnels, cowering and trembling in the tunnels. The Israelis aren't going to fight like real men in the tunnels that Hamas is hiding in.
This is just
like, how does she not see that?
I responded saying
you pointed out.
Hamas hides in tunnels under the civilian population like men. But
You nailed it.
This is just ridiculous.
It wasn't precision bombing. And yet you still say that, well, Israel isn't a terrorist organization. I think the question we should be asking is, should you be suspended? Is it responsible to have a person with your views speaking to the public when you clearly refuse to condemn that which needs to be condemned, which was worse than the London Blitz? Those that condemn
perfectly reasonable
with precision weapons, and the Germans didn't even have precision weapons.
Perfectly reasonable question.
Yes.
And you've asked me it on my show.
Yes.
The fact you're here and able to ask that, I think, is evidence that I'm prepared to listen to people who will look me in the eye and ask me difficult questions.
Well, you didn't know I was going to say that, but anyway, yes.
That's fine. But that's fine. You're perfectly entitled to it.
Yeah.
We believe in uncensored free speech here.
Yeah.
But let me ask you the question then, which I asked.
You're not answering my question, but you haven't answered it.
Well, I have. I said I don't think they're a terrorist organization.
Despite the fact that they've killed almost as many
you've asked me a question.
as Germans
You've
did
asked me a question.
when they bombed London under the Blitz for 1 year with non-precision bombs.
He doesn't like the answer. He doesn't like it.
I have given you an unequivocal answer. Now, let me ask you if you can give me one.
Yes.
Do you believe Hamas are a terror organization?
Okay, and I'd like to ask you, what does that mean?
Just answer my question.
See?
Yeah.
Pressing him on answering the question, and as soon as they are done, and Piers then turns around and asks the question, he's like, okay, well, let me answer with a question.
Gosh. Yeah, and it's of course going to be define what is the definition of terrorism, because any definition you give, then there's going to be, well, what about this? What about that? What about this that you don't want to call terrorism, and so on. And the goal, of course, is to avoid calling. Notice the goal is to avoid calling Hamas a terrorist organization. So you're going to say, hey, what's your definition of terrorism? And okay, now before we say whether Hamas is a terror organization, are you going to call Israel a terrorist, state, and are you going to call all these other groups terrorists and so on? So something like that, right?
Yeah, it's funny that he was thinking of this as some big gotcha here, but Piers just said, "Yeah, no, I don't call them terrorists." Okay, that's it.
Well, I need clarification.
Well, this country has prescribed them as a terror group. Do you think they are?
Are you the British government?
No, I'm asking you
to
what you think.
Okay, so I want a clarification.
I gave you a simple, straight answer.
What does it mean?
No, you tell me.
I don't know. You're asking me a question. You asked
You
the
don't
question.
think they are a terror group?
No, I want your definition of what is a terror group?
That's what I mean. They'll spend 10 minutes doing this every single freaking show.
This is so stupid. This is, of course, an attempt at kind of putting him on the spot and I don't know, appearing like you are winning you are winning this debate, this conversation, simply by applying fallacies here. This is typical sophistry, isn't it? Instead of actually arguing and actually dealing with the question and responding to it, this guy simply wants to engage in sophistry, which is where the aim here is definitely not to find the right answer, but rather to just look like they are winning. That's it. That's how ridiculous it is.
Acts of terror, a group that commits terror attacks, as they did on October the 7th.
So one that commits terror attack. All right, fine. So define terror.
Do you want to answer the
Terror
question
attack.
or not?
I do, but I just want clarification.
No. We all know what terror is.
Please, no. Don't worry. We're going to go somewhere with this. We're going to go somewhere with this, right?
Well, are you going to answer the question?
Yes. Once I get your definition, what's a terror attack?
The definition is as is laid down in international law,
which
is committing an act of terror,
which is
terrorism.
Are you asking questions you don't know the definition of?
Well, why don't you tell me what you think?
I don't know. You're asking the question.
You've no idea what terrorism is.
No, I want you to answer your
I would
question.
say massacring 1,200 people.
It's funny because
bad
it doesn't
idea.
matter. Go ahead.
No, it's bad. You can't just say massacring 1,200 people. You need to go into a little more detail than that, because anyone who's massacred 1,200 people would, according to that definition, if he doesn't get more specific, which is basically any significant war in history, that would all be guilty of terrorism, according to that. And I'm assuming Abdullah is going to jump all over that one.
Yeah, I have to say, Piers looks really bad here, to be very honest, because not even because this guy Abdullah here has a point, but because he fell for the trick and got caught in this discussion about the definition when it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter what Pierce's definition is. It doesn't matter what his definition is. It doesn't matter at all the conversation, and he just got caught.
It just sucks that he, I mean, you think that after a ton of these interviews, he would have a definition of terrorism handy that would not just be, if you kill a bunch of people, then it's obviously terrorism, because my goodness, he just handed them a gift. They want to.
Yeah. Let's see where this goes.
On October the 7th, and the way Hamas did is an act of terror. Do you agree?
So killing civilians is an act of terror?
No, that's not what I said.
So then killing civilians
Committing a
is not an act of
massacre
terror?
on that scale is terrorism.
So killing
All right.
civilians is not an act of terror?
You're not going to answer. Let me bring
No,
in...
I want your
it's
definition.
important.
I want you to be
We have a
consistent.
third guest.
No, but I want
I'm going to bring in... I'm going to bring in...
That's the right conclusion here. Although I think Piers Morgan performed terribly here, with all due respect, and it's hard to be in such a position, right? But the thing is, you would expect from somebody like Piers Morgan, who has such experience, to be better equipped with these debates. But it's good that you cut it off there. Because the point here remains, which is that these guys don't even want to call Hamas's act of terrorism a terrorist attack. They want to dance around it and somehow whitewash it and justify it and whatever it is. Poorly done on his behalf, but still he has a point.
I want to say something.
All right.
United States recognize PLO as a terrorist, and it negotiates with PLO. This is one thing. The second, October 7 happened, and many things happened after. Are we here just stuck there as a snapshot?
Yes, we are. Do you know why? Because October 7th is what triggered the war that we are currently engaged in. Because October 7 was the biggest attack in the history of Israel against a civilian population. Because it was the biggest attack on Jews, actually, since the Holocaust. Because lots of people on that side are still denying that the atrocities happened, despite the fact that even Hamas acknowledged them. Which is why we are stuck on that day. We are stuck on that day because these idiots will not, or these vile people will not acknowledge the atrocities that were committed.
And it kind of derailed a lot of things.
Yeah.
We've talked about this a bunch of times, but multiple Gulf states were about to normalize relations with Israel, and Israel had long since pulled out of Gaza. So guess what? If Israel's on friendlier terms with a bunch of Gulf states and so on, that looks like we're on a path towards peace. Looks like we're on a path where the Palestinians get their own state. It all gets derailed. And now you have a war instead. And so, yeah, you can always point to stuff that happens before, of course, but this is the most immediate cause of the current war.
Yeah. Obey said it's fascinating that at the UN summit, Israel was arguing that Hamas was not a good representative of true Islam and that it doesn't allow rape.
Yeah.
Well, Israel does have, Israel is putting an effort, has been doing that for quite a while, but Israel has been putting an effort, especially during this war and since October 7, to kind of separate Hamas from Islam and to say they are even worse than what Islam actually is, in order to also appeal to their own Muslim population. Because here was a funny comment, by the way, to address that. Where was that? Zaid al-Hindawi said, Douglas Murray can stay in Israel if he likes it so much. You should probably know that Israel has a 20% Arab Muslim population. So lots of those people actually like it there. And actually, when you ask Palestinians, lots of them say they would rather be part of Israel than of Palestinian territories. So that's kind of a weird point here to bring up. But Israel does engage in that whole thing, like separating Hamas from Islam, because they don't want to offend Muslims, because they don't want to make it look like a Jews versus Muslims war. They do also point out that rape is indeed, in theory, not allowed in Islam, right? Not allowed in Islam. But what Hamas does there is not that. What Hamas does there is they say we are at war and we take concubines, which is why these things then happen. They take the concubines and then they rape them. And the civilian population also engages in the very same thing that is inspired by Islam. Anything you want to add, David?
No, but yeah, that's because we always wonder, like Rabbi Shmuley and the spokesman for Israel and so on, why they would argue, this is not real Islam. Real Muslims should condemn all of this stuff. Real Muslims should condemn Muhammad hijab and all this stuff. And yet we're like, what the heck is going on there? But yes, they're in a situation where Israel, the government of Israel does not just represent non-Muslims, it also represents Muslims as well. And so yeah, they don't want to condemn Islam, and they want to marginalize the violent groups, which we would recognize as thoroughly grounded in Islam. But yeah, they don't want to. So
there's also the whole thing that polls show that the Muslim Arab population of Israel feels more distant from Palestinians and Palestinian organizations and Hamas, and closer to the Israeli identity since October 7. So that attack by Hamas actually brought Muslims and Arabs within Israel closer to identifying with Israel. And I don't believe that Israel would like to mess it up. This actually reminds me of when George W. Bush said after 9/11, didn't he go out there and give that whole speech of how Islam is a religion of peace?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Its teachings are good and peaceful. So wait, what?
Yeah.
And to discuss it, or we want to discuss what after and what can be done
We do,
in a
but
better
actually,
way. That's the most important.
I think they're all important issues, but right now, because of what happened in the fallout from last night's show, I specifically want to discuss the definition of terrorism, Hamas, and whether a British
But
doctor...
Hamas is not the Palestinian people.
Hang on.
But we haven't had that definition
I'm
yet.
going to bring in
I
our
want the
third...
definition.
I'm going to bring in Douglas Murray. You're just sitting patiently here. Douglas.
There he is. Yeah, I've been listening, Piers. Yes.
First of all, what was your reaction to this interview with an NHS doctor last night on this show?
Well, let me first of all say that it's necessary to clear quite a lot of things up, because we've heard quite a lot of hogwash in the last few minutes.
What an entry.
We've heard a lot of hogwash from a lot of hogs in the past few minutes. He doesn't hold back. He's like,
it's a brilliant
trying to get along at all.
It's a brilliant entry, typical Douglas Murray here.
Guest last night is a member of an extremist organization, Hizb ut-Tahrir, which is banned in many countries, including in European countries. And it's also banned in many Muslim countries. It's banned in Pakistan, it's banned in Egypt. And that's because these Muslim governments recognize that it is an extremist group that has a revolutionary ideology that wants to replace government in Muslim countries as well as in...
Why is that guy speaking?
Where is that? Who is that? Is that someone speaking in the background?
Yeah, I think that's that guy, Abdullah Andalusi.
wants to replace
Name one
government
European country it's banned
in Muslim
Give me
countries
one European country
as
it's
well
banned
as in do you know Germany?
One European country is banned in.
Oh
Douglas.
yeah, it was him.
I'm not going to let you lie to the audience like you usually do.
He's trying to be like a job.
Just say on this
told-
show.
Why is he talking in the back when this guy is making his point here? It's very
Yeah, they just talked. They just talked for like eight minutes plus, and then as soon as Douglas Murray starts talking,
I'm not gonna let you, Mr. Who the hell are you?
Douglas Murray. Right, so please
I just
give me
said
one country.
Germany.
It's not banned
I
in Germany.
just said
It's not banned in Germany.
You're
Check it.
not.
Hizb ut-Tahrir is banned in Germany. It is banned in Germany. Hizb ut-Tahrir
you're banned in Germany.
banned in Germany. Let's see. Hizb ut-Tahrir has been banned in Germany since 2003, but continues to operate unhindered in other member states. Government is considering a ban for Islamic extremists. That's from the UK. In Germany, it is officially banned, according to the European Parliament here. According to the European Parliament, it is officially banned.
Listening. You're
Check
not
it.
listening.
To-
You're not
to-
listening.
To the audience.
Let
Google
me,
it for yourself.
You know,
Hizb ut-Tahrir
it's
Germany.
really
Are they banned as
weird.
an organization?
All right. I'm going to Google it right now. Hizb ut-Tahrir banned in Germany. Look at this. I Googled it right here. Look. Hizb ut-Tahrir has been banned in Germany since 2003, but continues to operate unhindered in other member states, according to the European Parliament. I just Googled it. I did what he just said.
You know what else is banned in Germany? Nazis. Coincidence?
Man, this guy.
Let
Google
me
it.
listening. You're
Check
not
it.
listening.
To
You're not listening.
To the audience.
Let me
Google it for yourself.
You know,
Hizb ut-Tahrir
it's
Germany.
really
Are they banned as
weird.
an organization?
Is this Mr. Al-Andalusi? Can I just check? 'Cause I
Yes,
can't see you.
it is, yeah.
Is that him?
Here,
Yeah.
look,
Okay.
Googled it.
This
Googled
is a guy, he's of no significance, but he's a guy who I have seen in studios for years spouting extreme Islamist rhetoric. Many years ago, he couldn't condemn the killing of the journalists at Charlie Hebdo. Last year, he wouldn't condemn the attempted murder of Salman Rushdie. Now he
what
can't do
slander?
this. He
This is-
fails every single
Murray is
test.
filled full
But
of
let me get
slander.
on to the question.
Slander and lies.
I'm not going
Prove
to
it.
engage. I'm
Prove-
not going to
prove your lies.
engage
Let him
in a
speak,
bun
please.
fight with this Islamist. Let
Did he
me
say a bum fight? Did he say a bum fight?
Your lies,
engage
Let him
Douglas.
in a
speak,
bun
please.
fight with this. With not going
Prove
to
it.
engage. I'm
Prove-
not going to
prove your lies.
engage
Let him
in a
speak,
bun
please.
fight with this Islamist. Let
Bun fight? What does that mean? Is that
I don't know what a bun fight. I thought he was saying bum fight. Bum fights are before your time, aren't they?
Yeah.
There was this horrible, messed up video series back in the day where these dudes would go up and give money to bums and make them fight. It's like
Oh,
really
yeah.
messed up.
Oh
They
yeah.
would call it. It's called bum fights.
Hey,
No, these guys would just go around with stacks of money and hand money to bums and say, "Hey, here's a pair of pliers and here's some money. Pull a tooth out," and the guy would rip his tooth out for money and stuff. It was really, it was a sad commentary on humanity.
that's messed up. Pretty
But
messed up.
I can't tell if that's what he was saying with bum
No,
fight. But that's
apparently
funny.
I just looked up bun fight, and bun fight is in British English a tea party, an official function, and also a petty squabble or argument. Okay,
Okay.
just learned something.
Okay, we all learned something today. We all learned something. We learned what bum fights are, and we learned what bun fights are.
Yeah,
We learned
good.
two kinds of fighting.
That's good, and that is according to the Collins dictionary. It says Collins English dictionary. It says it's a petty squabble or argument.
Let me answer the question that Piers put to me before you try to interrupt again.
Only if you don't lie.
Let him
Right.
answer, please.
I appreciate
First
that
of
doesn't mean you
all,
want
let him
to-
answer.
Why
Oh my
do these
goodness.
Muslims always think they're in charge of the conversation? Like, why do they
Yeah,
think
they
they're in
take-
charge of the room?
Yeah, they learned that from hijab, and now they all try to be like hijab. Whereas hijab does a better job at pulling it off than these other guys.
Yeah.
Why are you stuttering?
Answer, please.
But all right.
First of all, I'm not going to keep being talked over by this Islamist blowhard. Let me speak. First of all, Your first guest treated us to the first bit of mouthwash this evening by claiming that the word jihad can mean absolutely anything. Nonsense. When a big bearded member of Hizb ut-Tahrir says calls for jihad on the streets of London, then they are not calling for an interpersonal struggle with the nature of the divine. They are calling for violence. And anyone who can't recognize that should be questioned about their own motives. Secondly, we've just been treated to a monologue about casualty figures in Gaza. Where do these figures come from? I'll tell you where they come from.
Hamas. This guy's killing it right now, though.
He's
love
crushing it.
I love Douglas Murray, and he's killing it. Oh no, I can't say killing. That means yeah. Oh, actually, killing. It has many different meanings.
He's slaughtering. He's slaughtering.
Yeah.
They come from Hamas. It's quite remarkable
This
to
is
me
a lie.
that 2 months after the October the
How is this a lie? Their numbers literally come from the Gaza Health Ministry, which is directly run by Hamas.
7th massacre, that 2 months after the October the 7th massacres, the Israelis still don't know the precise number of people murdered on October the 7th. There's a reason for that, because
It's
it
from the
takes
United
time
Nations,
to work out
from the
massacres of
UNRWA.
that scale.
The numbers
One of the
are accredited and valid.
striking, I just don't know if either of your guests are going to allow me.
That's funny. He's citing the UNRWA, the UNRWA, which is run for Palestinians by Palestinians, and is also, by the way, the UN organization which was exposed many times as teaching little Palestinian children to grow up and hate and kill Jews. Yeah.
I'm wondering how long it's going to take for some of these guys to adopt our time-tested methods, right? Like imagine Douglas Murray right now going, look, do you see this? Every time you interrupt me, anytime you interrupt me, I'm going to do some Kuranagami. Are you ready? Are you ready for that? Okay, go ahead and interrupt me. Just let everyone know, all of your fans who are watching, that I'm not going to rip up anything unless you interrupt me. But if you do interrupt me, it will be your decision for me to rip this up.
Every
That's how you
time
roll.
this
Boom.
blowhard
Problem solved.
interrupts me.
A word in.
Because you are lying,
One of the
and
striking
even the numbers
things
from
about
Israel, from the IDF, which are not accredited.
No, you will.
These are your
it's really
numbers.
interesting hearing somebody who presents themselves as a moderate being a spokesperson for Hamas. So let me continue. They are Hamas figures.
He's just being so harsh. It's funny.
They are all provided by the ministries of Hamas, which is a prescribed terrorist organization. If you want to reel off Hamas figures, then be my guest, but you are not able to mislead the viewers of Piers' show by quoting Hamas figures at his viewers as if they are
I
holy
am not
writ.
quoting.
Third,
It's the Euro
we've been treated to
it's
this
the
nonsense.
United Nations.
We've been treated.
It's the international community organizations.
Where do you
have
think
to
they
open
get
your
the figures
eyes.
from?
I
Where do
heard
you
That's not true. The death numbers are currently all based on Hamas. Hamas. That's what the source is. That is what the source literally is.
think
You
they
and
get the
all of
figures
what
from?
you say is
Thirdly, I will continue to speak if it kills you. Thirdly, World War II. It is nonsense that what has been happening in Gaza has, as you said in this endless list of fallacies, that there has been more bombing in Gaza, more deaths and destruction in Gaza than during World War II. Do you
No, I
know
didn't say
anything
anything.
about
Almost.
World War II?
Almost,
Do you know
I said.
anything about World War II?
I
In
said almost,
Dresden,
yes.
Did he say almost? I don't remember him saying almost. I think he said it's I don't know. I don't remember, honestly.
Douglas,
Germany.
do you know anything
Germany.
about
In
World War
Dresden
II,
alone,
Douglas?
take one German city. Take one German city. The destruction was on a scale totally dissimilar
taking
to what's
London.
been happening
know
in
that,
Gaza.
I'm
and
taking
you know,
London.
in
very,
response
very
to what you
interested.
said, the
I'm
number
very
of the
interested, and I
Palestinians
will
killed in
once
Gaza
again. I
in
will finish this
comparison
point,
proportionate
even
to
if
what
both
is in the
of these
state.
All right, let me-
boiled
let me
hearts
ask
keep trying to
Douglas one
talk
question.
over me.
No, it's
I
important
will
because he
finish the
mentioned it
point
in one
I
of his
wanted to
interviews.
Okay,
make.
I'm going to come back to you.
Wow. This is a you can't understand anyone at this point.
He's got, and it's so, I understand wanting to give some leeway to your guests and so on, but Piers just still hasn't figured out how to keep everything from devolving into anarchy when it's
Yeah.
very, very simple. Guys, there will be portions where you guys can interact and argue. When I tell you to stop, you got to stop. When I say don't interrupt this person, don't interrupt this person. When I say, hey, this person has 2 minutes, that person gets 2 minutes. And when I say you get 2 minutes, then you get 2 minutes. And that's how it works. Anyone who doesn't obey that can walk out the freaking studio.
Yeah. We should also have a gun there, but true.
Oh, that would be good. Like not shoot someone in the face or something like that, but like arm shot with like a BB gun.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was thinking of
pellet
shooting
gun?
in the
Pow.
face. Yeah.
Well, yeah, if it's a pellet gun, just don't hit him in the eyes or something.
Yeah. I'm checking the sources right now, and Reuters says, according to the Gaza Health Ministry figures, every single source that I find here at this point only cites Gaza Health Ministry as the source for the numbers of casualties. And Gaza Health Ministry is run by Hamas. Very reliable, very trustworthy. Very, very trustworthy. Chloe said, I have some off-topic cues for AP and DW. I wait till end. That's good. That's nice. Suppose Apologetics said, do not, my friends, become addicted to jihad. It hears it will take hold of you, and you will resent its absence. Immortan Dizzle. Yeah, yeah.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
He tells them, do not become addicted to water.
Oh yeah.
It's messed up. Yeah. He tells people don't become addicted to water.
That's Mad Max, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah, that's Fury Road. That's Immortan Joe.
Okay. Uthman's Tomato Ketchup said, AP, no respect for Muhammad, atheist. David Wood, no respect for Muhammad, Christian. Draw your own Muhammad. That's a nice twist. Good one. Sir Whitemate said, we have atheist gangsters. Yeah, you don't think we have gangsters? We have atheist gangsters. Chloe said, Destiny can hate us, but we love him back. Love wins. Yes. Psyche said, Christmas jizya for David Wood, not Christmas hating AP. Jokes on you, it's getting to me. Became Numa said, AP is the YouTube messiah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Stefan the Pelted said, AP and co openly says they hate Islam. No, Christianity, Islam, atheists. What? Me? I didn't say that. David Wood in chat, despite the above, openly says, we love AP and donates Christian. Make of it what you will. Okay, I never said I hate Christianity. How dare you? How dare you?
No, you just played you just conveniently played the clip of what someone else says.
I'm not saying
that I agree with, but I'm not saying it.
I'm not saying it. I'm just saying we have gangsters and we can't control them. Chloe said, Jihad Kampf, Mein Kampf. Yes, Mein Jihad. Hitler's book is also called Mein Jihad. Sir Whitemeat said, AP's Jihad is starting stream on time. Actually, it's the opposite. Sir Dr. Whitemeat said, I ate a few pages of the Quran, so my jihad is to get it out my leather straps without too many paper cuts.
Now, notice.
Yes.
The Muslims, they sometimes read the Quran. They may recite the Quran, but only we eat the Quran. So who really understands the Quran better? You know what I'm saying?
We consume it, truly in the best way of, yes.
Someone put bun jihad.
Bun jihad.
Someone put bun jihad because you're talking about the bun fights earlier.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Like my jihad is my jihad. Lord Stannis said, wait till you hear Murray call him out on this. We have just heard him. He came in here pretty harsh. Yeah. Angel Jibril said, my jihad, AP, Mein Kampf, AP, AP angry, Mein Kampf, AP happy. Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's continue.
Both. Let me ask Douglas one question.
I wanted to make,
Douglas,
because
specifically about the doctor.
It is very important for your viewers to hear the following definition. The definition of terrorism is the deliberate targeting of innocent civilians. That is what Hamas specializes in. That is what Hamas did.
And
And that's what Pierce was missing from his definition.
Is what Israel is doing terrorism? No, for the following reason. And again, you can lie about this if you want, but do not expect not to be challenged about it. What the IDF is doing is the same manner of war as the British Army, the American Army, and all other armies in the civilized world.
They're all terrorists.
Terrorists like Hamas.
The civilized world. This is very racist. It's very. He said civilized world. What do you say?
This is what all the non-barbarians do.
Man.
And yeah, again, this is what was missing from, because when Pierce, who's despite dealing with this over and over and over again, was challenged, well, tell us what terrorism is. So said, oh, it's killing 1,200 people. That's terrorism. Okay, well, you just got a problem there in sport, because lots of things would count as terrorism. You need a bit more. You need to be a bit more clear on that. And Douglas here is getting a bit getting a bit more specific on what an actual definition of terrorism is.
You know what's funny? Here is the difference between what Israel is doing and what Hamas is doing. Only one of the many differences, actually. When it comes to deliberate targeting of civilians, you could accuse Israel of deliberately targeting civilians, but that is just an accusation. We can't look at it and objectively conclude that they did indeed specifically target civilians. But we can have that discussion forever. When we look at what Hamas did on October 7, and on numerous occasions, it is clear to everyone who looks at what happened that they directly targeted civilians. It is not even a discussion.
Prove it.
There is no way of arguing once you have all the footage that they didn't mean to kill civilians. Like they directly targeted and attacked civilians. Israel did not do such a thing.
What if it's all fake? What if it's all fake footage? I mean, if they can fake a moon landing, they can fake this.
What if it was all staged? Yeah. What if those people were paid to die? Yeah,
they're all actors. I've seen several of them. They'll probably say crap like that.
Yeah,
I saw that woman who supposedly died. I saw her walking to her next audition for another part.
Yeah, and the other guy, he was paid. He accepted lots of money to die, to get killed. Yeah.
Casualties. Yes, there are, but it is not the aim of the IDF any more than it is of the British or American armies to target civilians. And anyone who pretends otherwise is lying to the public watching.
All right, Douglas, final question before I go back to the two in the studio here. And it's specifically about the doctor that was on last night, whether he should be allowed to continue practicing as a GP when he identifies Hamas as a resistance group, wouldn't say that it committed an act of terror, said he didn't even believe that there had been a massacre, and was also quite blatantly homophobic, amongst other things. Well, he didn't actually. Douglas,
but not Douglas.
Let
me ask Douglas.
If.
No, please.
Let me ask Douglas.
Douglas, the medical association.
I'm asking
the
Douglas.
medical association.
I will come both to.
The medical association is the one who is assigned to.
Fine. I'm asking Douglas what his view is.
Douglas.
Look at Douglas Murray. Look at Douglas Murray.
Well, you don't seem to be much of an impartial observer of this, I have to say myself. I thought slightly highly of you before you started ranting as much as Mr. Al-Andalusi this evening. I'll tell you what I thought of it, Piers. I think our country has had enough of people like your guest last night. It's not just that he's in the NHS. Why is he in Britain? Why do we allow people in Britain to try to overthrow the state, who praise terrorism, members of extremist organizations? What has Britain got from this guy exactly? What benefit have we got from him? I mean, I wouldn't want to be an NHS patient going to him. I don't know if any Jews would particularly want to in Britain. I don't know if very many innocent people would want to go to this doctor. But my question is not just should he be able to practice. I want to know why our country of Britain has been such a soft touch for decades that we have Hamas leaders, terrorist spokespeople, Islamist sympathizers like your guest, Mr. Al-Andalusi, and now NHS doctors who are members of groups like Hizb ut-Tahrir that stand on the streets of London, call for jihad, call for Muslim armies to arise. I don't think our country benefits anything from these people. I think people like that should leave. We have no need of them.
Oh no, this is so Islamophobic. He said people who advocate for terrorism and terrorist organizations should leave. This is very Islamophobic and very racist. What do you think of this, David?
I agree completely. Totally racist.
All right.
Douglas Murray, thank you very much indeed for joining me. I appreciate it. Let's come back to you, gentlemen.
Oh, that was it?
Is that it?
Oh,
He's not going to engage in further debates with him?
Okay. So it looks like the schedule was, hey, Douglas, we're going to talk to them for 8 minutes. Then we'll have you on for 8 minutes. And then we'll cut back to them for 8 minutes.
Nice. Interesting.
To wrap this up, let me start with you, Dr. Abouleish. Look, passions run high here on both sides. I get it. But there have to be certain points of agreement, don't there? And one of the things that I find
how dare you agree with me? How dare you?
Very hard to deal with. Like I said at the start of this debate.
Yes, we must agree that Israel is a terrorist state.
What we all saw with our own eyes because Hamas put it out on their own videos through their own social media platforms. What happened on October the 7th was a terror attack. Can we not agree that?
Is he still arguing that?
As a Palestinian.
What?
Is he still arguing that? Can we agree that October 7th was a terrorist attack? He's still on that point.
The issue is that this guy here never acknowledges and never, if they just said no, it wasn't. If they just said that, I guess there could be a deeper discussion on it. But they refuse to even make a statement on it.
Yeah, I mean, just change the name of. I mean, change the entire series. Say it's an entire series of getting Muslims to Piers trying to get Muslims to say that October 7th was a terrorist attack. Just have an entire series on that.
Trying to get
because that's all that happens. That's all that happens in these.
Trying to get Muslims to say that terrorism is terrorism. Yeah. This is another candidate here, by the way, which who was hosted by him.
Is that what you think?
He was invited as he announced boycott Piers Morgan, and then he was invited to Piers Morgan and actually went, which is ridiculous. So they actually hosted this show with the hashtag boycott Piers Morgan. I guess this is This is some dude. His name is Dilly Lily or something like that.
That's the five. That's the 5 Pillars guy.
Yeah. Willy Nilly Dilly. 5 Pillars. Yeah.
Yeah. This guy runs a media organization. That's
he runs a terrorist.
I've seen him.
He runs a terrorist advocate organization.
Yeah, I don't know how I didn't recognize him. I've shared multiple things by that dude in the past.
Yeah, like this guy didn't even like this guy was very clear here, and I think we need to review this tomorrow because this is really messed up.
Interpretation of terrorism.
Terrorism is an act of violence targeting children and civilians to advance the political.
Correct. Is that what Hamas did on October the 7th?
Is that what you think? Is that what you think?
I'm asking you.
You believe the media? You believe the media? Come on, Piers. You believe the media?
Look at this smug scumbag here.
Yeah. You could tell from the dude's tweets that this dude is evil, man.
I mean, there is just no ounce of integrity, no ounce of empathy. I mean, imagine there is no matter what side you are, imagine on that day your entire family suffered, your family members died, and then there's this guy on TV and he's asked the question about terrorism, and he's like, you think that's what you think?
Yeah,
what you think?
Stupid. No, that was the issue with Alex Jones, right? It's like you could listen to a lot of the conspiracy theories, and if you don't agree with them, you can say, okay, this guy's coming out with all the conspiracies and so on. It's when you actually say that all these families whose kids were just massacred are actually paid actors, and this is all it's all a conspiracy, it's all a plot, none of this really happened, it's all staged. That's extremely messed up. But you've got tons of people doing basically the exact same thing, right? They're saying, hey, this is all staged, or it was the IDF doing it, or something like that. And despite Hamas running in there with GoPros and sharing the footage and calling and bragging about it, nope, never happened, all staged, or it's actually the IDF doing all this stuff.
Yeah. Notice we can't get through one show without David bashing Alex Jones. Just to
Alex Jones hilarious. It's just that he did that. That was extremely messed up. And I'm pointing out that why is it that almost every spokesperson for Islam right now is doing the exact same thing that everyone condemns Alex Jones for doing?
Because apparently it's very funny. Look at this. He finds it very amusing.
He finds it amusing.
Yeah.
I don't believe he was an act of terrorism. No.
You don't?
No.
Okay, even though they literally did what you just articulated as a definition of terrorism.
Do you have proof that they targeted women and children, civilians specifically? What's the proof?
I'll tell you the proof.
What's the proof? You want? Oh,
This is the ridiculous thing. Why doesn't Piers Morgan play footage of these things happening? I understand that he can't put it on the screen. They censor too much gore, but why doesn't he say, all right, how about we watched some of the footage here together, and he puts it on screen, blurs it for the public, shows it to him, and see what they say then, see what their reaction is. I mean, why doesn't he have these things lined up for those equivalent of Holocaust deniers to immediately comment on, to be put on the spot? I do not know. Anyway.
I am not belonging to any faction, and Hamas is not representing the Palestinian.
Okay, wait.
We not agree that.
I am coming here as a Palestinian.
Yes.
I am not belonging to any faction, and Hamas is not representing the Palestinian people. We have to understand it. It's part of the Palestinian people. It was elected with the freedom.
Why can this guy say, Hamas doesn't represent all Palestinians, but why can't you just answer the damn question? Okay, if you don't agree with Hamas, how about just answer the question? Just answer the question.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Think. Here's the position that everyone who goes on this show is in. If you say, yes, Hamas is a terrorist organization and that attack was the attack of a terrorist group, anyone who's not on the terrorist side will say, finally some common sense. But your the Daniel Hakikachu side is going to come after you. They're going to target you and try to, ruin your life online, at least, if not actually send some people after you. So no matter what, by asking the question, you're setting yourself up to be blasted by one side or the other. If you say, yes, it's a terrorist group, then you have a Muslim side is going to come out. How dare you call it? How dare you call it that? How dare you? You call yourself a Muslim? You're siding with the Jews. And if you say, no, it wasn't a terrorist attack, then my goodness, look at, we've seen the videos. We know what went on there. If that's not terrorist attack, then you guys are creepy.
Dr. Izzadeen Abulaish. There's also, of course, the possibility of people not wanting to accuse Hamas or say anything bad about Hamas, considering that this guy is actually Palestinian, because and he was actually born in Gaza, actually born in Jabalia, which was recently bombed. So if you say something bad about Hamas is not known for being very nice to people who say something bad about them. They're not known for being very nice to critics and collaborators. Often collaborators or critics end up disappearing, or being randomly murdered, or being just publicly killed, with people screaming, Allahu Akbar, death to the collaborators. So, of course, there's also that.
Hey, you know what Pierce should have done right here is okay, so you're saying because you're a Palestinian, blah blah blah. Let's bring on our next guest, who's also a Palestinian. In fact, he's the son of the co-founder of Hamas. He is Masab Hassan Youssef. Masab, go ahead and respond to all this. We will kill you all if you get in our way of coming after Hamas. What's the problem? How clear can I be? The streets will flow with the blood of anyone who gets in our way as we seek to annihilate Hamas and anyone who has ever talked to them.
That guy made a post yesterday on Twitter. Did you see it?
That guy's brutal, man.
Did you see that? I
forgot what he said, but I know I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe he just said that.
That went pretty far.
I remember. He said if I have to choose
here.
between a bunch of Muslims, yeah, you want to play? This
Yeah.
is messed. This is messed up, even for us.
I saw that and I thought, what the hell? Yeah, let him.
And it really shows someone who's raised as Hamas to be absolutely brutal, and then switches sides. But he's kind of wired for being just brutal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I condemned my father to death, then you should be worried. Because if it comes down to 15 million Jewish innocent people and 300 million Arab clowns, I will choose the 15 million innocent people.
I don't like clowns.
Start this war.
There you go.
Oh,
it gets worse. It gets worse, ladies and gentlemen.
It gets significantly worse. That's only one part of it.
If I have to choose between 1.6 billion Muslims and a cow, I would choose the cow.
This dude is messed up, man. I would choose the cow. That guy's messed up, man.
Like I honestly, my honest reaction to this is like I heard it and I couldn't believe that he just said that, and I was like, wow. And I personally wouldn't say that. I don't even think that. I'm like, I haven't gone that far.
Yeah, I know.
Ever.
No, yeah.
This guy just said, wow.
That's what was crazy. It's like when he was like 300 million Arab clowns, I would choose the 15 million innocent Israelis. I'm sitting there doing the math going, I don't know, man. It's kind of messed up. And then 1.6 billion or a cow? I choose the cow. Whoa.
This guy. Okay, let's play it again. Let's see. In one piece. You think we don't have gangsters? I wouldn't say this, but we can't stop our gangsters from saying this.
If I condemned my father to death, then you should be worried. Because if it comes down to 15 million Jewish innocent people and 300 million Arab clowns, I will choose the 15 million innocent people who did not start this war. If I have to choose between 1.6 billion Muslims and a cow, I will choose the cow.
This guy's brutal, man.
He went really hardcore. Like I'm looking at his Twitter feed now, and I personally think that this guy, like, I love this guy. I love what he did. I think he is a hero. He has a very good voice in the conflict. But like I'm just seeing this now. Never trust anyone who identifies as a Muslim. They may appear as a harmless sheep when they are alone, but when they are in the pack, they will begin to show their tusks. I have zero respect for any individual who identifies as a Muslim, and I may consider the use of force when it comes to Islamists. Like I said many times in the past, I could agree here right on the spot, but I said many times in the past that I don't think this at all. I disagree with that. I don't think that you can actually make that judgment collectively, and I would think
you can't.
A lot of nice things
I mean, Nabil, even when we were, when he was still a Muslim, even when we're arguing, so Muslims would say, but he was wrong about things and he was wrong about this and that. I would have trusted Nabil with my life in a heartbeat, even though he identified as a Muslim. So yeah, I would have to.
Yeah, but this guy's backstory. I mean, his father was one of the is one of the co-founders of Hamas. His father is one of the people who ran Hamas, who are still in charge. He operated and worked for Hamas while being a spy for the Israeli security agency, Shin Bet. And I don't know, he has reports of some really, really messed up things. And his testimony is very much that during his time at the Shin Bet, he experienced firsthand that the Israeli security agency, together with all the other Israeli agencies, do their best to avoid civilian deaths. But Hamas doesn't care at all. They will kill their own without hesitation if they want to. I don't know. Pretty messed up. Pretty messed up.
I would choose the cow.
Election.
I find it funny when he says Arab clowns. It's very racist.
In 2006, since that time, we don't have any election. We look forward to have election, and we have to respect the election of the people and the choice of the people. If you in UK tomorrow to elect any right fanatic group, what do you think the other people will say to you? If they said no, they are terrorists or they are not accepted. They are part of the Palestinian people.
What in the world does this have anything to do with the issue here? It doesn't matter what those people say. It doesn't matter how these people think. Hamas is a terrorist organization that commits act of terror. And October 7th specifically, is it an act of terrorism or not? It's very simple. You don't have to discuss any of the logistics of how they came into power and what people might say or not say. This is so ridiculous, man. These guys they can't be honest for a second. I don't.
People, whether we accept or not, we need to have a new leadership, to have a new election, and then it's our choice to do it. What is happening? As I said it clearly, before October 7, after October 7 will never lead to any positive way. It only aggravates bloodshed, more animosity, more pain, more suffering, and more extremism.
I think you may be right. And this has been my concern.
Okay, what should Israel do instead? Just sit there and say, this is very bad, very, very bad, and we don't like our people getting killed by Hamas, and this targeting and taking hostages, shooting women directly there on the spot in their faces. But yeah, we're not going to respond because we don't like violence. That's apparently the response that Israel should have given.
About the, in my view, increasingly disproportionate response by Israel is it may have the opposite effect of what they want. It may actually lead to more radicalism. Destroying most of Gaza seems to be what the mission statement is now. I don't see how that helps the situation.
You know what? I thought that very same thing at some point, but I don't think that you can at this point blame Israel or anyone for the future radicalization or anything like that at all. Israel wasn't there when the Arab side began this conflict and began the offenses, began the civil war, began the wars, the attacks in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and so on and so forth. Israel didn't create this. The way Israel deals with it now as a final resort is not the cause for future radicalization. The cause for future radicalization is the way Palestinians are, Palestinians think, the way Palestinians believe, the things that they believe, the ideology that they follow, the religion which they hold on to, and so on. This is not Israel's fault.
Tyron Basista says, is David smoking some weed?
Yes.
No, this is called the Quranic. The Quranic. Get it?
The Quranic.
I smoking the Quranic. They may read it, but only we smoke it. So who really knows it? Who really knows it? They ain't never smoked a Quranic.
That's nice. That's cool. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Ludo said, it's 2 a.m. and my leather straps are jihading, struggling to keep my eyes open. That's very nice. Very good. Very good. Knows Too Much said, chance to schedule live streams at earlier times. Possibly, yes. We also have a special show that we will have probably next week. What?
Don't you fairly frequently do earlier live streams like noon? Because I always wake up at like 4 and you've already done a live stream earlier in the day.
I've been doing that recently. I've been doing such live streams recently.
Yeah, so what's this person complaining about? What are you complaining about, Knows Too Much? The man just said he does earlier live streams.
Why they always complain about me? Next week, we also are going to have a show together during the day, earlier during the day. So, yeah, that's going to be good. Knows Too Much said, is the Quran halal food? If yes, then eating it is perfectly fine, and everyone can start doing it. If not, that means the Quran is haram. You know what's funny? There is actually a practice of eating Quran pages, or eating something Quranic, which is administered as a form of ruqya, which is when somebody is believed to be possessed by jinns. Sometimes they might administer eating the Quran to get rid of the jinn.
You got to smoke it.
Yeah, but they don't know that the right
smoke it. They don't know the real way. The real way is to smoke it.
Yes, the real
way.
You
can eat it too. You can eat it too. It's just much slower. It's a much slower process. This right to the lungs, straight into the bloodstream.
Yeah.
Speech of Allah.
Or you could also what you could also do is one other way is to mix it with tea and drink it. It hits faster and harder.
Or pee.
Yeah,
camel pee. That's the strongest. That's the strongest non-smoking form.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Tanzil Muslud said, "Are you guys going to respond to Fareed video on why the Quran is in Arabic?"
We responded to one. I don't know. Have people? I haven't watched the other one. The first one is terrible. Is the second one worth responding to? I don't know.
I have to say, I watched a lot of Muslim apologetics content, and that video that we went through from Fareed last weekend on David's channel is probably one of the most, if not the most painful videos that I've experienced in my entire life. It is so ridiculously stupid.
But maybe his next one was super brilliant.
Definitely. Yeah. The Haywire 924 made a super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Knows Too Much said Qatar poured billions to universities and media schools, such as Northwestern. The U.S. has a base in Qatar, and in 2022, Biden made it a major non-NATO ally. Qatar is a problem, always has been, and is also right now an ally and intermediary of Hamas and all that. So Amber Black said, I wondered how the Dawa guys feel about the two male Democrat staffers enjoying each other's company on the Senate floor, leather strap not included. What is that about? I don't know what that is about.
No idea.
I don't know what that is about. Not sure. Knows Too Much. You have to inform me about that, Amber. Knows Too Much said even Trump made dealings with Qatar. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Trump was disappointing in many ways, which I know people don't like to hear.
At all. But I do understand why they want to try and eliminate Hamas. And that's the conundrum.
Well, I'd like to clarify firstly, Islamic law very clearly says, and there's no difference of opinion on this for 1,300 years or even more, that
don't lie.
It's impermissible in whatever situation to target women, children, elderly, poor, non-combatants, or those not reservists in the army. So even the the Hamas fighters, which were interviewed on Israeli TV, the broadcast was interviewed, their interview, they said the same thing, that it is prohibited. The issue of October the 7th is that there's a big question mark regarding what exactly happened.
Oh my God. There he goes into the denial.
Is he going into the Dilly Hussein stuff?
He's going right into the denial, as it seems. He's going to jump into the Nile. He's going to jump into the Nile. Well, what does we always talk about the one very specific hadith in which Muhammad is asked about the women and children who died during the night raid against the polytheists. They ask, Ya Rasulullah, when we go on night raids, the women and children die. What is with them? And Muhammad says, well, they are of them. I don't care. I don't give a damn. But targeting is a different issue here.
Yeah. So that's what he said, and so he has.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah. So notice he's taking into account the fact that if he simply said Islam condemns all killing of women and children, we would. But what are you talking about? Muhammad's followers said we're killing the women and children, and he said so. But they're from them. They're from the pagans. So he puts in the word targeted there because you're not supposed to target them. But even that's not like a blanket condemnation of killing women. And so, I mean, they targeted Asma bint Marwan because she was criticizing Muhammad, and Muhammad sent in an assassin to murder her. The guy had to pull her baby off her because she was nursing the baby, had to pull the baby off her and murder her. That was a woman. That was a woman. And she was ordered executed by, not even executed. That would be like a government thing. She was ordered assassinated by Muhammad himself. So yeah, I don't know what he's on about here. And so the question is, if there are women who are assassinated, executed, and so on. Matter of fact, when Muhammad took Mecca, he gave a list of people that he wanted killed. Some of them were singing girls, right? These are girls who they sang songs making fun of him and so on.
Sing songs.
They were ordered to be executed. And so the question is, if you are Hamas, can you work people that you believe are occupiers into that same category? In other words, are all these women who are at this at this music festival now, are they all guilty because they're all occupiers and they're all deserving of death? That's the question. I think you can justify that according to Islam. I don't think you could. Yeah, I don't. Keep in mind, I'm not saying it's justified. I'm saying I think it fits better than Abdullah here is letting on.
Yeah.
Completely accept. Let me finish. What do I mean by this? I completely accept that there was Israelis were killed who were not combatants. It is reprehensible in Islamic law, and likewise, it's reprehensible that non-combatants on the Palestinian side are killed. Like, for example, an 8-year-old Mohammed El Ghul and others in West Bank who was shot by an Israeli soldier.
Oh my God! Wait a minute.
Combatants on the Palestinian side are killed, like, for example, an 8-year-old Mohammed El Ghul and others in West Bank who was shot by an Israeli soldier. But my point is this, right? And here's the issue, which is Michael Clark, who advises, might see him on Sky News talking about Ukraine war. He's a military advisor.
He's just denying the atrocities that actually happened on that day, and quickly just briefly mentioning that, then moving on. Of course, I see it's very uncomfortable that you have to sit there and actually acknowledge that Hamas directly, verifiably targeted and killed women. We have footage of it. Of course, it's very hard to acknowledge it and to talk about it, but to apparently, as it appears, deny that it happened and then to quickly, brush it off and move on. This is just pure dishonesty. Abdullah Andalusi, you are a dishonest prick at this point. unless, of course, I don't know, you're correcting yourself and you're saying that it actually happened, that they directly targeted women, and that you condemn them for that, that you reject that. But if you want to deny that this happened, you are a dishonest prick and a terrorist apologist. And I challenge you to have that conversation with me in public, so I can show you all of the footage and see your face when you see people being shot at.
On Channel and also Channel 4. He said that Hamas, the operation, they actually lost control of the operation and it turned into a spontaneous terror attack. I'm quoting him verbatim.
I don't believe a word of that.
Well, but this is what he says as an expert.
I'm giving you my opinion.
I know. Well, I'm giving you an expert opinion.
It was clearly planned,
by Michael Clark.
orchestrated.
Well,
and then they gleefully boasted about it.
They didn't.
They did.
Where? Where did Hamas? Do you know that quotation?
You think no Hamas?
Oh my God. This guy thinks that the plan by Hamas, by which they stuck, by the way, to go into civilian communities and directly target and kill civilians was just what was not planned. It got out of hand, and that just happened, right? It just somehow just happened like that. Excuse me. First off, you might say
they
that
were just going in. They were just going in there to go to the gym because that's their jihad.
Yeah.
And then they decided to slaughter a bunch of people while they were there. So they ain't got nothing to do with us.
Yeah. You have them directly go into a civilian community known as a kibbutz, directly walk in there, walk through the gate, shoot people inside a vehicle at that gate, open the gate, walk in there and terrorize the civilian community. You have it on footage. And as I'm talking about it, I'm actually wanting to quickly pull up a few things here. I know it's going to be graphic again. Whatever. So here is the. Okay, this is from the music festival actually, of them going and shooting people. Shooting at the toilets, I guess, to see if there's anyone inside. Doesn't matter that they actually shoot live ammunition at them, including at what is clearly here marked as a women's toilet, by the way. Of them walking into a civilian community, and not just Hamas, by the way, but also regular Gazan civilians. So apparently they lost so much control of the situation that the actual Gaza population started walking into Israeli civilian populations to terrorize with guns. What are they doing at a civilian community? This is not an army base. And then how about this, for example? This is a residential area. This is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Kibbutz Be'eri, one of the major locations that were brutally attacked by Hamas. These guys are clearly aware that they are in a civilian area here, and they are filming it, directly looking for targets. And then we actually have footage of them. Let's see what this is. Shooting on site into residential homes. Shooting on site into a home. Because somebody appears and they shoot. Doesn't even matter. They just shoot. This is filmed directly by themselves. By themselves. This guy is wearing his camera and filming himself. Hamas going to the civilian community and shooting on site because he sees somebody appear.
ارجع تعال له تعال يا علي
Oh, this is what he quickly did his shahada while he was dying to make sure that he gets the virgins when he goes to heaven, which will probably be a bunch of goats. I don't know. Here, look at this. The guy goes directly in a residential community at a civilian home, sees a figure in there. As far as I remember, identified here as an elderly man who didn't have the chance to hide. And you can hear him moaning there in pain after he's shot. And this guy doesn't care. He just shoots him again. Put him out of his misery, I guess, right? It's an Israeli civilian, an elderly man. Does this look like just, collateral damage during an operation against IDF? Does this look like any of that kind of stuff? And of course, then we have some more graphic stuff that I don't want to put on the screen now of them directly targeting women. Then we have them celebrating the killing of women in the streets, being completely happy about that, and dragging their bodies around, and looting their belongings, and dragging them out of the car after that happens. Then we have, of course, the infamous footage of one of the victims, Shani Luke, after she was shot in the head and probably sexually violated, with her bare breasts laying on the back of a pickup truck with these absolute animals, these inhuman savages, sitting on her, and then the Gazan population spitting on her and hitting her. And then we have footage of these Hamas members here admitting that they killed and shot men and women and elderly and children, and that they also raped them and so on. But of course, you can't accept that as footage because, they might have said those things under duress. But yeah, of course, don't have an issue with what the hostages, as they were being freed, said to Hamas. That is completely unreliable. That is completely reliable. But just don't trust what these guys say during the interrogations about the horrible crimes that they committed. And then, of course, you have this one here. Okay, to be fair, I think this is a military personnel, this woman. But of course, that excuses her being having a bloody area here and being misused and abused in horrible ways. Then, of course, you have other footage of, you have this, you have a lot of stuff. There's just so much here. But hey, probably nothing happened, right? Probably nothing happened. I'm the last few days I have been working on a project of putting all of the footage that I have personally seen, that I have acquired together, stuff that has not been really made very public so far, because I want to put everything together, no matter how graphic it is, and turn it into a one big video and upload it right here on the channel, of course with age restriction for everyone to see, because every single day there are some animals saying, "Oh, where's the proof? Where nothing happened. Where's the proof? Where's the footage?" And I want to just have one large video to just say, here it is. Here it is. What are you going to say now?
People that day gloating about it. Are you watching the videos?
Yes, I did. Did you watch that Hamas spokesman? You quoted that Hamas spokesman on TV.
Yeah.
Did you see what he said about the attack? He said that there was no order to target civilians. What many people...
Well, we know they did.
A
So,
general consensus of analysts have shown that there was looters that came out of Gaza who were not part of Hamas.
So my simple question...
Those are some very well armed and well equipped looters. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they also wear the Hamas headbands.
He's just saying these are random guys. So, Hamas, they're just going in there for a completely different reason. But yeah, then all these other guys, they come in with the Hamas headbands and with AK-47s and are gunning down. So yeah, those are just random looters.
He's basically here being just repeating what that one spokesperson of Hamas said. He said these things. He said, we didn't intend to kill civilians. Something happened. Things got out of control. A group after our fighters came in and they did most of the killing of civilians and all of that.
Listen,
that's what
look
Hamas said. This guy is repeating directly what Hamas said and making propaganda for them.
Yeah, listen to what he's saying. He's saying Hamas isn't the problem. Hamas, they're the good guys. And yeah, it's some random Palestinians who did all that stuff. So who are the real enemies, Abdullah? The random Palestinians, not Hamas.
Yeah. So it's the civilian population in Gaza that is bad. It's not Hamas.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Great, fantastic.
This is wild. It's not Hamas.
Yeah.
Hamas isn't the problem.
Look at this one here. This is from Kibbutz Be'eri. Directly from there, you can even Google Kibbutz Be'eri, and you can look at photos on Google Maps, and you can see this very gate here. Look at this. This is one of the most one footage that I have seen so many times on repeat. Here is Hamas directly coming at a car full of civilians.
That is a very well-equipped random looter.
Yeah, shooting
it's
at them.
Weird. It's
directly.
weird. So his story, Abdullah's story, is Hamas. They had their mission, and then other people see Hamas going through, and they're like, "Oh, we can sneak in too." These are your random civilians who just decide to go looting, and this is how they're equipped.
Oh, we can sneak into.
Creepy.
Let's quickly dress up exactly like Hamas, and even wear the headbands. Just make sure that.
And
Hamas
we're ready. We're ready at the exact time that Hamas invades. We're ready to run in there, dress like Hamas, walk like Hamas, shoot like Hamas, wearing like Hamas headbands, carrying Hamas weapons. Look at these guys.
Look at this guy. Look at this.
Look at the hat.
The hat with the headband identified. This is what the terrorist organizations in the Palestinian territories do. They all wear the identifier headbands. Some of them wear the green ones are Hamas. It says Al-Qassam brigades. Then there are others that wear black, which is Palestinian Islamic Jihad. Then there are red ones for the PFLP and so on. This is clearly Hamas. Oh, you also have, by the way, footage of them gunning down women here. See here, since they say that there is no proof of it. Yeah, you have it right here. I believe this is also Kibbutz Be'eri. Wait. Yeah, this is Kibbutz Be'eri. You have just seen several civilians, including women, run. You see them run. Continue running. Now there he is, chasing them. Shooting down. This one, which is a woman, as we have just seen. And then here's another one that is a younger woman, or a girl, an adolescent, or a young adult woman. Right here, he stands above her for seconds, and then he executes her. That's
just a looter. They're just a looter, AP. It's a looter who got out of hand.
Yeah, you have seen it right there. Clear proof, clear footage of Hamas chasing civilians, shooting one of the women, then standing above the other, with many choices he could make there, choosing to directly execute her on the spot. Right there on full display. And these bastards are really going to deny this stuff.
It's criminal. My simple question is this. Was it a terror attack?
Anyone who killed civilians, should be condemned and reprehensible. Anyone who kills civilians is a criminal.
Was it a terror attack?
What?
October the 7th.
He's still on this?
I asked you, you said, what define a terror attack is that you target.
Shut up, man.
You've had the definition from
Yes, okay. You target civilians, right? So then I want to ask, I'll answer that
No,
question.
just answer
I
the
want to ask that
question.
question, but I just for sake of consistency, when the British Army targeted German civilians,
Abdullah Andalusi, you are a dishonest piece of filth, and you are a liar. You are an Islamist, of course, Hamas terrorist apologist, and you shouldn't be given any space anywhere to talk after this. But hey, I dare you, Abdullah Andalusi, the delusional terrorist apologist here. I dare you to debate this with me, to debate the terrorism of Hamas with me, where I will show you footage and you will then watch and give a response to that. I dare you.
Yeah, and you could do a debate like that on like Modern Day Debate, or I mean, he could just join you on your channel and you guys could watch footage and he can give his thoughts and commentary on how these guys are actually just random looters.
Yeah.
civilians in World War II, was that a terror attack?
No. Because
So notice this. So what do we have? Real Hamas, they disguise themselves as civilians, and civilians disguise themselves as Hamas. So whenever you are dealing with anyone in Palestine, according to Abdullah Andalusi, just assume they're the opposite of what they're dressed as.
See Germany's attempt to destroy the world.
So you're saying
You don't
that.
understand the
so
moral
you're saying
difference.
that. So you're saying that because of who they were fighting, it's not a terror attack to target civilians.
Are you?
Is that what you're saying?
We have to wrap this up. I'm asking.
Is that because I only want
I'm saying-
consistency
I'm
from
saying
you.
there's no moral equivalence between us defending ourselves against Nazi Germany, who committed a Holocaust that killed. In fact, they killed 12 million people.
Did Britain launch war on Germany because of the Jews?
Huh?
Did Britain declare war on Germany for the sake of Jews?
Britain declared war on
Did
Germany.
Winston Churchill, in his ultimatum to Hitler, did he say, stop persecuting Jews? Do you know why? Because at that time, anti-Semitism was so rife that people didn't care about the plight of the Jews. It was only afterwards, after they discovered the death camps and so on and so forth. Don't pretend that the Allies launched this war for the sake of Jews.
I didn't say that.
Anti-Semitism
We only discovered
was
the
rife
full
back
horror
then.
of the concentration camps towards the end of the war.
Yeah, I'm
We
only
didn't
asking.
Completely derailing from the actual topic here.
We need to save our democracy and freedom.
And
But
guess
the
what?
idea is any
And what
moral
are the
equivalence.
Palestinians are
Hang
doing?
on.
What are the Palestinians doing? What do you
Listen,
think the Palestinians are
the
trying to do?
idea is any moral equivalence.
So, just a sleazy way of never answering the actual question, talking about irrelevant things. And I get it. He's actually, I will say, that part is correct. You know, he is partly correct there, which is that the British defense against Germany did not start because of the whole, persecution of Jews thing. Although it's not as simple as he depicted it. It's not like they had no idea that Germany is persecuting Jews. They only found that out after the war was over. It was coming out gradually. Just the full horror, the full scale of it was revealed after the war was over. But there's much more to that than this, and him just getting stuck on that one misstep by Piers Morgan, who is not very great at performing in these debates, as far as I can see, is again another form of deception, because he never wants to answer the actual question here, never wants to come to the actual question here. October 7, what they did on that day, it was Islamic terrorism.
It's ridiculous. But let me come back one more time before we finish to my simple question. Was what happened on October the 7th a terror attack?
I'm telling you that if you refuse to
I'm telling you that I don't want to answer the question. How can I make that any clearer, Piers? None of us want to answer that question. Why do you keep asking it? That's what he should say.
Oh, recently Mohammed Hijab was accusing Piers Morgan of doing a red herring. This is actually a perfect instance here of Abdullah Andalusi doing a red herring.
Good question.
I'm only asking.
We did it to say
because at that time, anti-Semitism was so rife that people didn't care about the plight of the Jews. It was only afterwards, after they discovered the death camps and so on and so forth.
A form of red herring here, where he goes on to focus on a completely irrelevant piece of information because he feels too uncomfortable with the question at hand. to distract from the actual point with completely irrelevant information that has nothing to do with the topic at all. That's a red herring. Mohammed Hijab should call him out here for being such a fallacious debater.
No,
That's being hypocritical.
Okay, that's your view.
I'm happy to
Can I
condemn
say something?
all this as a terror attack.
Yeah, you're not
But
though,
you
are you?
have to be
You're not.
consistent.
Can I say
Piers Morgan.
something?
Final
You're
word
being
to you.
inconsistent.
Please.
Final word.
You know, yesterday I was listening to the chief of Mossad and the chief of Shin Bet, and he said it's because of the failure of diplomatic and political issues. This is important, and there was negligence. And what can we do now? And that's the most important as a medical doctor. We need to stop the bloodshed, to go to serious negotiations, to
I'm a
use
medical doctor.
what happened October 7 as an opportunity to bridge the gap between Palestinians and Israelis and not to repeat it again and again.
Doctor, I've got to end.
Yeah, sorry, you don't do that after you just get attacked by Hamas in such a brutal way.
Weird?
It's a little bit late there.
Look, the slaughter of 1,200 Israelis was the perfect opportunity to build bridges. That's what it just said, right?
That's what we were waiting for. Perfect. Now let's talk peace. Yeah.
End it there.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't think you
I've got to
should
end
fire
it.
people from their jobs because they have difference of opinion.
Well, you know what?
In England.
I don't think British GPs should be coming on national television in this country and breaking the law by publicly supporting and endorsing a terror group.
Where did he
which
break
is,
the
by
law?
the way,
Where did he break the law?
It's a criminal offence to support a terror group in this country.
Yeah, of course.
He did that last night.
By what? When did he
By
actually
saying they were
support?
resistance, not a terror group.
He was talking about.
He justified
He
what
was
they
talking
did.
about Palestinians
And
in
that
general.
is a criminal.
He was
No,
talking
No, he wasn't. He was talking about Hamas.
about Palestinians
he was talking
in
about
general.
Hamas.
He was
Hamas.
talking about, he wasn't talking
You
about
didn't watch
Hamas.
the interview. Go back
Wait,
and watch.
He's saying Palestinians in general, according to Abdullah, they were the ones who carried out the terrorist attack.
Yeah. Palestinians
It wasn't
in general.
even Hamas.
They were
They
the
were just
problem.
looters. There's Palestinian looters.
Yeah. Looter.
But he took
Yes, he
the
broke.
Palestinians.
He broke the
Palestinians
law.
want
he broke the
equal
law.
rights throughout whole of
Right.
Palestine.
You asked me why. That's why.
Equal rights throughout all of Palestine. You mean from the river to the sea? You mean from the river to the sea, equal rights among Palestinians, right? That's what he means. That's what he means. Otherwise, what's the problem? Israeli Arabs have equal rights. Israeli Muslims have equal rights with the Jewish population. The Palestinians could have equal rights within their own Palestinian territories had they accepted the many opportunities for becoming sovereign and forming an actual stable government on their own, which they refused because they just are not happy with whatever they are given. And they want to go on and lose more and more and more until they have nothing left, and then blame the other side afterwards. That's what they do. That's what they do.
I'm going to leave it there. I'm
Rights
going to leave it there.
Palestine.
Again, thanks to Douglas Murray, to Dr. Abulash. It's good to see you again. Thank you very much.
So much.
Abdullah Andalusi, thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate that.
All right. So, David, what's up? What do you say?
I don't know. What did we learn?
We learned
Nothing. That's what.
Excuse me. I learned a lot of things here. How dare you say that? I learned a lot of things here. Man. Cool Luke said an Egyptian woman had to leave Egypt because she condemned Hamas radicals, sent her death threats, and turned up at her house looking for her. Well, shouldn't condemn Hamas. Can't condemn Hamas.
And notice this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, that these guys who, like, all Piers wants these guys to do is say, yes, I condemn Hamas, and these guys don't want to say it. Why? Because then you become an enemy of a lot of other Muslims.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't become an enemy. Because if you say that terrorism is terrorism, then you'll get in trouble. How dare you say terrorism is terrorism? How dare you say that? Unacceptable. PBUM said, hi AP, David Wood, Muhammad as a warlord was a necessity for him to invent jihad for war, sports, women, and to supply his gang since they didn't have jobs. Pretty much, yeah. You agree? You agree? Yes.
Yeah.
You agree. White Lily, hey, White Lily said, my jihad is my daughter's preteen attitude she inherited from me and trying to get my teen son to speak in complete sentences. Anyway, here's my jizya. See, everyone has their own jihad. Don't misrepresent it.
We've got everyone's got their own jihad and their own jizya.
Yeah. And their own murder, by the way. Jesse Johnson said, Dr. Bill Warner's explanation of the various jihads helped me understand Islam. He did an interestingly nice job. Is he still active? I haven't seen much. Knows Too Much said, watch I'm White and I'm Woke by Aidan Alterman. Gaza's sky is black, but Qatar is always sunny by Eretz Neder. I saw that yesterday. Both are short and relevant. I don't know if I can play that. That's the parody channel on Israel. Did you see
the one where they make fun of the BBC all the time?
Yeah.
Or a different one. That one? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they they published a Gaza sky is black. Gaza sky is black. Where's that? Oh, here they published this song here.
The children of Gaza are suffering.
Wait.
They have
I
no
saw this.
medical supply.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was funny.
You can help. Please open your heart and make a donation by clicking in the link below. Shukran.
Well, they call
and
the
God
cash
bless.
on it.
Anyway, and then it's a song about the
These
leader.
guys living large. Yeah,
living large and getting all the money and
these are kind of, we need to make videos like this.
Yeah.
We have too many musicians and like rappers and stuff on our side to not be rolling like this.
Yeah.
Allah that we are safe in the plaza. There's nothing left to eat like a Ramadan retreat.
Nothing left to eat like a Ramadan retreat.
Don't really give a shit, cause I'm hanging in my suite. Check. Wanna check out
This is pretty good.
Everyone, the actors, the set, it's all awesome. Look at these guys all sitting there in bed in these fancy robes and stuff, talking on their phone.
Bring us lobsters. Call my Khalifa to play with us some FIFA.
This is so ridiculous. Oh boy. Knows Too Much said, oh yeah, I already read that. Thank you for bringing that to our attention again. Everybody should watch this. I'll link it. Farfur said whether or not Israel should defend itself is a metaphysical matter, like the sun setting in a muddy spring. Exactly.
It is a metaphysical matter.
Yeah, exactly. Shma Dalia said, started watching both you during Lent when I realized I needed to be closer to the Lord. Dr. Wood, so glad he was able to reach you. God is working through both of you, whether AP admits it or not. That's interesting. Interesting. Thank you, though. Thank you for your words. The same as Chris said, Hamas apologists have appeared. They used deflect. Piers chose no BS Moray. It was very impactful. By the way, how that Syrian? Oh, this is a Pokemon game description. Syrian girl is dumb. Yes, she is very dumb. She's also. Wait a minute. Syrian girl who is a raging lunatic who actually works for Syria's Bashar Assad and as a Putin apologist against the West. She made another tweet which was hilarious. It is so dumb. Let's see, where was that? Let me go through that. Where was that? There was that. I commented on it briefly. Here is something when talking about Palestine. I commented on it briefly here somewhere. Where did that go? Let me see. Let me find it. Oh, here. No, not here.
What's that dinosaur doing?
Oh, that's the Palestinian dinosaur. They are the indigenous people of Palestine. Anyway, I can't find it now. Now that I'm scrolling through it, I can't find it. Huh. Interesting. Anyway, Thomas Smith said PM needs to be blunt and say kidnapping and graping people. Absolutely. I'm currently in the bathroom engaged in jihad. Good luck. Good luck, Mark H. We have all been there. Joshua Wooden said, I saw a debate with you and Robert Spencer debating two Muslims if Quran teaches peace. Did you debate with Robert Spencer today, or was it old David Wood?
That was old.
But gold, right?
That was from years ago.
But it was gold, was it? Oh, here, look. This is a tweet from Syrian girl. You know, this video of this guy dying. By the way, did you see this, David?
Yeah.
Of this
guy died. Wait, what's the community note say?
Wait. Why is there no sound? Why is there no sound? There's no sound on this video. This is stupid. Anyway, he condemned, he said Israel will not escape the wrath of Allah, and then he collapsed and he's now dead. Look what she tweeted. Did Israel poison Turkish MP Hassan Bismet? He collapsed right after threatening Israel in parliament and has died in hospital. Now, lots of people read this and think she's joking. The problem is she's not joking. She actually suspects that Israel might have poisoned him, which is
that is some perfectly timed poisoning, isn't it? I mean, guys, we need some poison here. That's going to cause him right after he condemns us, he's going to drop dead. I mean, spot on poisoning here.
Yeah, Israel has, of course, planted this poison that is released automatically when they say certain words. Like when they invoke Allah and mention Israel, the poison is released and it kills them within 2 days.
Yeah. And they train, they train squirrels to go in and administer this poison to these guys. Everyone knows this.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how it works.
And you've already, I mean, pointed it out, but if this situation were reversed, we would never hear the end of it. We would never, if it was a Jewish leader who stood up and said, and we're going to crush Hamas and God is on our side as we crush Hamas, and then he dropped dead, they would use that every single minute of every single day for the next 300 years to show that Allah is on the side of the Palestinians.
Yeah, that's true.
But when it happens to their guy who's condemning Israel, it's irrelevant.
It is irrelevant. This here is the Palestinosaurus that you were asking about earlier. Well, I posted this saying it's absolutely disgusting that the Zionists stole the land from the indigenous dinosaurs. And then people started adding these things here, which is very nice. Yeah, anyway. Joshua Wooden said, I saw a debate with you. I already read this, man. Why are you making me read it again? Zabuba said, I watched a movie about Islam minority sects. Stop it. This is very childish, not funny.
You see the community that you're getting?
The women had to be covered. This turned men's prostates into opposite. Fascinating film. I believe it. I believe it. I believe you. Chloe said Muslims today likened to the Nazi Germans saying, well, 1944 Treblinka death camp didn't happen in a vacuum. Let's look at what led to this. Pretty much.
Notice that's exactly the point. This idea of, oh, you guys are talking about this attack right here, but other things happened before that attack. Yeah, lots of things happened before that attack. That doesn't mean we don't talk about the attack. But notice if you had told the Germans, look what you've done here. Oh, but what about this? And what about that? And what about this? And what about that? All these things happened before we tried to conquer the world and to exterminate all the Jews.
That's what Hitler actually did say about the Jews and about
You
Poland.
seem to know a lot about Hitler here, buddy.
Of course I do. And what he also said when he was justifying his invasion of Poland, which led to the British declaration of war and all that. So
if I were invading Poland, I would just say, look, people can't stop making fun of Polish people. We just have to end it now. So we make them part of the German Empire. No one's going to make fun of them anymore.
Yeah, it's Hitler actually said, like, Hitler was claimed that Germans were being persecuted in Poland, and he was like, "Why is the democratic world not protesting against these barbarities? Why do they not, stand up and do this and that?" So he had to do that and invade. It's pretty much what they do. And those barbarities, by the way, never happened. So yeah, funny. So Dave said, I have seen some Palestinian Christians condemning Israel, supporting Palestinian Muslims. What do you think of it? Do Palestinian Christians have a death wish and live under Sharia law? There is a very, very low and limited number of Palestinian Christians left. Pretty sure it's like 1,000 or something in the Gaza Strip. I don't know.
Yeah, I've explained this a long time ago, back when this was all getting started. But no, there's right. There are Palestinian Christians who condemn Israel, and I explained it in terms that I could understand. I compared it to like being in prison. So you have your prison population, and then you have the guards and the entire administration. And I pointed out that, hey, we're Christians and Muslims and all kinds of people mixed up. At the end of the day, we viewed it as us against the guards, right? In other words, if in the rules of prison life, I mean, like the bedrock is you don't snitch on another inmate. Doesn't matter what he does. You could kill somebody. You don't snitch on him. You can have a community. You can have a community that is to some extent under the control of another group, and it is very common just for everyone to consider those the enemies. So yeah, I would get it.
Yeah.
If you're in the same area with Muslims, you're all on the receiving end. If a bomb gets sent out there, you can all be on the receiving end of that. And so I get it.
Yeah. Let's put some background picture here while we're talking about things. Yeah. Chloe said Musos interrupt to silence truth and bully us. That's true. Very much, very much. Sahimas Chris said Andalusia looks like he's about to cry. In this absolute show, thank you for making me laugh. You're welcome. Hostamogi said your streams are so professional and well organized that it is more beautiful than the Quran. So I left Islam, alhamdulillah. Shut up.
He's got a point. These live streams, even if we just jump in and go totally random, we're way better organized than the Quran.
That's true. That's true. I have to say that's true. I have to admit that's true.
And we would know because we are the only ones who smoke the Quran.
Yeah. Yeah. I am also the author of the Quran, by the way. Cars in Death said Muslims say Jews are a religion.
Hey,
what
if we start smoking the Quran? That becomes a thing, right? Wait for it. Then what if we convince Robert to smoke the Quran, but he smokes his own Quran, the critical Quran? What? What?
That's good. That's good. I'm just afraid that I'm going to become a Muslim if I do that. So that's the only reason why I'm not doing it.
Did you ever see the movie How High?
When I was very, very little.
I saw some parts of it. I don't really remember it. I just remember they were smoking weed that was like it had a dead body in it or something like that, and then like when they would smoke it, they would get high, and then the ghost of the person would come back, and then he like gave them a bunch of answers, so he got into Harvard. So they got into Harvard or something like that. And anyway, then they needed to pass something at the end, and they were all out of the weed, So they dug up like John Adams or something like that, and they didn't have time to grow weed out of him, so they just like smoked a finger of his corpse, of his dead body or something like that. Anyway, we could have something like that where we smoke the Quran. Hey, we should do some sort of skit where we smoke the Quran, and then it makes us, I don't know, it gives us some sort of vision or something like that. I don't know. We should come up with something. I like that idea.
That's good. That's good. You can nowadays also vape. Somebody brought it up. Aurora brought it up. Quran vape.
Vape the Quran.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Well, once we spread the art of smoking the Quran, then we can bring in vaping the Quran as well.
Yeah. We could also do like create a new Islamic artifact or to sell online where we can inhale the Quran and then exhale it into a little container, like a glass thing, and then seal it and then sell that online. And that's like this is Quranic high, which you can purchase directly and preserve, something like that.
We could have a Quran bong.
Yeah, Quran a bong.
Inhale, exhale. Just got Quran in the mail.
Yeah. Carson, that said, Muslims say Jews are a religion, not a nation, because there are American Jews, Polish Jews, etc. But the many diverse Muslims make up a number. Well, yeah, Muslims say a lot of things. In Germany, we used to say a lot of things when the day is long. That's good. Yeah. LC, a lot of yuppa. That's true. A lot of it. Kenny G said, where are y'all starting the Zabooby memberships? Soon. Sid Dave said, Muslims have no problem when Muslims dictators kill millions of Muslims. They treat as family, squabble, but if Israelis defend themselves, it's a problem. It is, because it's Jews. Jews are not allowed to do it. Only we are allowed to kill each other. Jews can't do this. That's how they go. Chloe said, Douglas could say, want to talk about World War II with the Mufti of Jerusalem having tea parties with Hitler, the Muslims in the SS death squads. Exactly. Why does this never come up? It should come up more often. The actual leader of the Arab movement in the Second World War was literally a Nazi collaborator. He was allied with Hitler. Raw Star made a super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciated Raw Star. RM said, why doesn't IDF fight hand to hand like real men?
In tunnels, hand to hand in tunnels like real men.
Go in tunnels hand to hand. The Haywire said, Koranagami deserves to be in a stand-up set. It does, David. Consider this. Raw Star said, this is a classic. It's like memory TV. Yeah, it is. Zdenek Mikura made a super chat. Thank you. I appreciate it. Farfur said terrorism is when people oppose Muslim oppression. Yeah. Terrorism is when people oppose Muslim oppression. Yeah. Your personal freedom is BS. Yeah. And we're proud of that. Okay. Angel Jibril said they should hand over the show from Piers to Murray. Absolutely. Don't you think that too, David?
Yeah. We're good. How do they not give him a show?
They should. By now, he should have a show.
And if they don't give him a show, he should pull the gay card. Be like, it's because I'm gay they won't give me a show.
It is because I'm gay. They don't like gay people. That's why they're not giving me a show. Yeah. I just want to see his entry once again into this discussion because it was hilarious to me. He was like, he entered it like a boss.
And whether a British
but Hamas is not the Palestinian people.
Hang on.
Hang on. Definition.
I'm going to bring in I'm going to bring in Douglas Murray. You're just sitting patiently here. Douglas, first of all, what was your reaction to this interview with an NHS doctor last night on this show?
Well, let me first of all say that it's necessary to clear quite a lot of things up because we've heard quite a lot of hogwash in the last few minutes. Firstly, your guest last night is a member of an extremist organization, Hizb ut-Tahrir, which is banned in many countries, including in European.
Perfect entry there. See? That's what you do. That's how you do it.
How you roll.
And it's also banned in many Muslim countries. It's banned in Pakistan, it's banned in Egypt, and that's because these Muslim governments recognize that it is an extremist group that has a revolutionary ideology that wants to replace
Name one
government.
European country.
Anyway, this is the Prophet Douglas Murray with his irrefutable teachings. Close at AP. David, what have you watched RDF combat footage 2 days ago? I've seen some, yeah.
No.
David has not. David doesn't want to watch Israeli stuff. He's like, I don't do that. Zionist Israel. I don't have any respect for them. What Al Spider-Man's leather
comment.
strappers of Antioch said, Mohammed, peace be upon him, said, even if you look at a pig with your leather straps and lust after it, you have committed seppuku in your aorta.
That sounds like something stupid that Muhammad would say.
Oh boy. It's funny that this combines so many things that Muhammad said. As Derek McCurry became a YouTube member, thank you so much and welcome, and thanks for joining. Cedric said, AP, UNRWA is of Palestinians, by Palestinians, for Palestinians. This is a reference to Osho, I know. Uthman's tomato ketchup said, Mein Kampf is ins Fitnessstudio zu gehen. Nice, nice. That's our Mein Kampf. Yeah. Zdenek has made a super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Chloe said Muslims need to stop colonizing and oppressing us. That is absolutely true. Please get off our necks. Or Holy Humanist Nuria Khan. Is that really you? Is that really you? I bet it is you, isn't it? Thank you both for consistently countering all the misinformation. Terrorist sympathizers are being exposed day by day. Free Palestine from Hamas. Thank you, Nuria. You should also join us. I should have you on here again soon. Would be very nice. Very, very nice. Everybody, please feel free to go and subscribe to her channel. She has a very nice channel and is a very brilliant voice. Obey said, when I heard Hamas operated on captives without anesthesia, I gasped. Well, it's because they are professionals. They can do that. Hosta Mahogi said he proved he really is the son of Hamas. Yeah, yeah. John Choi said, get Mossab on the show. I tried reaching him. I couldn't reach him yet. Still trying to reach out. If I can reach him, if I can invite him, I definitely would. So far, I haven't had luck with that. Dizabuba said, dang, AP, Mossab should take over your channel. No. Angel Jibril said, you see, AP disavows Mossab Youssef, now supports Palestine. It's Mossab. Cliff Wilson said, AP, do you defend the settlements in the West Bank? If so, why? Complicated issue. Not something that I necessarily want to lengthily talk about and have a stance on. That said, I could say at this point, so far, after the length and the history of the conflict where we are, I don't see why Israel should have any patience in tolerating or entertaining the idea of Palestinian sovereignty and statehood. They had the right to take the land and make it part of their country long ago, at least after the third attack. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say to the Muslims, if your long-term goal is a two-state solution where those two states would exist peacefully side by side, then I would be against the settlements. If your position is still no, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, meaning that Israel will be wiped off the map, and that's your long-term goal, I would say they're entirely justified in doing what they need to do. to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Do I acknowledge that that people say expanding the settlements is Israel's attempt to take the land? Yes. Do I see anything wrong with it? No. That's it. You can quote me on that. D. Boudreaux said most Gazans were kids when Hamas was elected, but who can run against them now without being publicly lynched? That's a thing. And they also made sure that there is no peace and there is no system. There are no elections.
Yeah.
Hamas.
But I mean,
yeah.
You don't need to be worried. Hamas is not going to be running Gaza after this. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's over.
Hamas is done. Hamas is done.
And you know what?
We're proud of that.
Yeah. Hamas is finished. Hamas is finished. Hamas is finished.
You're finished already. Look at me. Look at me. You know you're done.
Vinny the Pooh said, here is more jizya. I have to go hogwash Piglet now. Farflor Gangsters was throwing poo at him. Feasts be upon him. Very nice. Very nice. No, Israel will go through with this war, and the objective is to take out Hamas entirely, and they have no intention. Recently, Netanyahu said something like, Gaza will not be another Hamasistan or what was it? What did it say? Fatahistan or something like that. We have no intention of getting it together with the Palestinian Authority and having another disastrous self-governing body established. So goodbye, self-governing Gaza.
They were given freedom. They did not handle their freedom responsibly.
Yeah.
And so now their freedom shall be taken away.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it always says on those alcohol bottles, drink responsibly.
Yep. And freedom ain't free.
Yeah.
Cost $1.05. You got to pay that bill.
Yeah. Sankey said AP backs away from controversial statements like a weakling, atheist. Mossab chooses the cow. Christian, draw your own conclusions.
Dang.
Oh boy. God said, saludos from Los Angeles, California. Great stuff. Thank you. Thank you. Good that we have your approval. Chloe said, the ending of this vid reminds me of another Talk TV video. You disgust me. Goodbye. James Whale clashes with pro-Palestine marcher Roshan Mohammed Saleh. Haven't seen it.
That sounds like a cool ending, though. You disgust me. Goodbye.
It does sound good. It does sound good. That should be the end of the book. Chloe or a suicide. Chloe said, took the bullet, then going to Shaitan's flesh pit. Yeah. Chloe said they also dressed up like IDF to frame and trick. That's true. Curtis Edwards said, thanks for the content. Keep it up. Thank you so much for enjoying it and for joining. Thank you. We will continue. Tatiana said, right of return for Palestinians. What is your view on that, David Wood, AP? I think that there is no right to return and that it is absurd. That's all I can say about it. We went through the history of it many times, but Israel expanded significantly after 1948, where in the middle of a civil war started by the Arab side, they declared their Israeli state as a right was given to them. War was declared as a response to this. They won the war. It didn't go as the other side wanted it. Lots of people fled before and during the war. Others were expelled during and after the war. Should they have a right of return? No. Why? David, what do you say?
Yeah, I don't see
choose
it.
your words carefully.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Okay, good. Hope that answers the question. Vinicius Mora said, you guys just don't get it. These are random costumed Hamas wannabes, Palestinians.
It's Hamas cosplay.
Yeah. They have nothing to do with
That's
Hamas.
Abdullah. That's Abdullah. He's like it was Hamas cosplay, man, and they thought they were playing a game. They didn't even realize it was real bullets. They thought it was paintball. They thought it was a big game of paintball, and so you can't condemn them, man. What the heck?
And they shoot one woman, she dies, and then they're like, wait a minute, that's not supposed to happen. So they shoot another one, like, okay, let me try this again. And they just keep going like that. This is how they killed a bunch of women there. Zabubas Mr. L said, idea evolution of the book destruction. Bacon between every page during the stream. In the end, fry in oil, safe and fun. Yay. Huh. This is interesting. This is a good project. This is good. This is good stuff. Mar Blue J made a super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Drunk Fact said, eat full Quran, please. I'll do it for $20,000. The Rockness said, don't believe your lying leather straps. If it looks like Hamas, acts like Hamas, and quacks like Hamas, it obviously a random looter.
A random looter in disguise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I say. That's what I say. Marisa Kennedy said, did you know Hamas is actually Arabic for pig butts? Hamas. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It actually literally stands for pig butts. Chloe said, can I go to protest Sydney and say Hamas are terrorist scumbags? Momo was pedo. Might be a good story, even if I get attacked.
Yeah, make sure you got someone filming you there, Chloe.
Yeah. Best thing to do is go to Pakistan and say it, and then have people film you. Just kidding. Don't do that, please. Don't do that. We need you here with the poetry. Knows too much said, watch, I'm white and I'm woke too. Won't disappoint. I have a look at it, and if it needs to be done, I will put it on the show. Definitely. First, we have to consult our editorial team and all the people behind the scenes who arrange all the videos that we review here, which is all just me. Pusillanimous Leatherstrap said, hey, David, Andrew Wilson said you signed autographs with an extra large SIG after he complained to you about it. He said it was hilarious. Oh, hi, AP. Yeah, no hi.
Oh, that was Andrew Wilson I was talking to? Oh, that's funny. Yeah. I was sitting there signing them, and so Andrew said, hey, you're signing really big, and then I signed even bigger because he complained. So I took up the entire top of the thing with my signature. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Chloe said something sound as jihadis trying to escape AP's tear milking machine. Yeah, that's it. People were complaining about some thumping sound. It's just jihadis trying to get in, actually. Chloe said, off topic now, David Wood, can you help Bob the Builder? Tell him Jesus does not condone violence, even in the fans. Matthew 5:9, John 2:15. Jesus did not whip anybody in cleansing temple. David.
Oh yeah, I don't think Jesus was whipping people in cleansing the temple. Said he made a whip, but the other passages also say he was driving out the animals and stuff. So cracking a whip.
Correct.
But I don't know that you could say that. There are passages where, turning the other cheek and so on, but I don't think that rules out any sort of self-defense. I don't think. In fact, you couldn't rule it out in all cases because, you have passages that talk about the government punishing wrongdoers and so on. So, yeah.
That's pretty rad. Cedric said, dude condemns Israel and immediately dies of a heart attack. If the trajectory continues,
if the trajectory continues.
Yeah. Chloe, off topic, David would get AP.
If the 1,000,000 to 1, and let's be honest, let's be clear here, that for every Hamas member who's killed, Israel kills 5 billion civilians. You might as well have said that. It'd be just as defensible as the nonsense he was saying.
That's pretty accurate. Chloe happens to start every super chat now with off topic. Off topic. David would get AP to try my friend's GPT Jesus. They made Jesus who you can talk to. Need GPT-4 link on my channel page. Are you kidding me? Are you serious?
Hey, AP, you should make a video where you're talking to Chat GPT Jesus.
Is that really a thing here? I'll check it out right now. I'll check it out right now. Okay, I just subscribed to your channel, Chloe, and I'll check it out. Okay, I'll check it out. Knows too much, said Caliph Uthman smoked the Quran too, so it's halal. Yeah. Just make sure you don't get smoked while trying to smoke. Unicorns said...
roof are on fire.
I didn't know where that was going until that twist. That's nice. Unicorn said, does my Zabibas touch the rug first when I pray? I'll never tell. Oh boy.
If it was Muhammad Hijab, I think his Zabubas hit first.
Oh boy. Alfonso Lapulce became a YouTube member. Thank you. Welcome to the club. Yeshua the King said, AP, can you post video with all Hamas clips? Yes, I'm working on it. Honestly, I must say, I started working on this thing, on putting all of the clips together and compiling all of them into a big video.
Yeah, you just said that like
I know,
an hour ago.
I know, I did.
How
But
many
the
times
thing
you
is,
gonna say it?
looking at that stuff and working through that, it's it really messed me up for a little bit, and I had to really take a break and stop looking at that stuff. And I keep thinking, is it really even a good idea to put that stuff out there? But then you see all the people who deny the atrocities, and then I contrast that with how horrible it feels to continue looking at those things, and then those people who go on TV and to say, I don't think anything happened, where's the proof? Which just makes me want to put it all together again. I will. Of course, David doesn't know what we're talking about because he doesn't have feelings. Up Your Food Game said, David, you're begging for a fatwa from Khamenei.
Hey, Khamenei, please give me a fatwa. Can I get a fatwa? I thought about that as a like actually getting someone to sing it with like a little beat as like a transition from videos. Matter of fact, I thought about like something like Islamicize Me. Matter of fact, but Vocab is the one who came up with the title Islamicize Me. I think before that I was going to call it Can I Get a Fatwa? I think I was going to call that series Can I Get a Fatwa?
Yeah.
I was gonna Can I get a fatwa? Can I get a fatwa? That was gonna
give me a fatwa. A couple of Indian tea said, hey AP and David Wood. AP, do you know what you are there in one of the episodes of Nabi Asli channel? How many times do I need to be told this? This is like the 50,000th time that I'm told that I appeared in one of Nabi Asli's videos.
Hey, AP.
I appreciate it. Yeah, what?
Hey, did you know that you were in one of the episodes of Nabi Asli's channel?
What?
Yeah, for real.
What the?
Serious. Hey, AP. Did you know?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I knew this. You are there in the Zainab episode. Did you know that? Huh. I had no idea. Thank you for telling me. Interesting. White Lily said, I have an Arabic Quran. It identifies as a coaster when I drink wine. Subhanallah, it's amazing how useful a Quran can be. This is good use of the Quran. I like what we are doing here, which is just buying new Qurans and then ripping pages out and doing whatever with them. Look at this.
My Quran identifies as a black and mild.
Yeah. Because when you look at it closely, you can see that there are just random pages missing there, which is why it looks so weird.
Look at mine. What's going on here? Ah!
Oh boy. Why do you have to do this? This is literally genocide. This is literal genocide against the Quran. Hikari Kokoro said, I recently got addicted to the live streams on both your channels, and I respect you both for what you do. Here's my filthy Christian jizya. God bless. Well, thank you.
Here's
I appreciate
my
it.
filthy, dirty Christian jizya.
That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Very, very. I appreciate it very, very much. Said Dave said more peace.
This.
Oh, wait, wrong button. Mo was a coward himself, never fought man to man, used to send his hitman, aka Sahaba, to kill opponents. He was a loser. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, he tried to fight once, and he's got his teeth knocked out his face.
Yeah, they was like, my teeth! My teeth! Please, my teeth! Please don't fight for me. I don't want them hurting my teeth again.
My teeth!
I am just a poor Mohammed.
Will someone come kiss me all over my body so I can feel better? Aisha, come wash these semen stains off. What a creepo.
Yeah. Oh, dumbass. Adil J. Hussein said, AP, why are you stuttering?
Why stuttering?
Yeah. Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
Okay, good. Weasel said, why are you laughing?
Why are you stuttering?
Oh, why are you stuttering?
Why stuttering?
Weasel said, did you see Destiny's conversation with historian Benny Morris? I haven't, actually.
Nope.
Destiny Benny Morris. I know that
I
Benny
don't think
Morris
I've
was in-
I don't think I've ever seen anything by Destiny except for like little clips that like people like you have shared on Twitter.
Did you ever see anything from his child though?
What are you talking about? Oh, Destiny's Child. What a dork, man.
Terrible joke. Terrible joke. Like this is Sid Dave said West Bank should be declared to be an LGBTQ homeland. Alhamdulillah. Nostuma said watch Jewish settlements are legal and the misperceived Jewish settlements by Yoram Attinger for a short informative explanation on this issue. I might have a look at that. Might have a look at that. To look at this issue. So Dave said 14 million people moved between India and Pakistan in 1947 partition. And none of them have the right of return, so why should Palestinians?
Correct.
Correcto. Los Nokian said, y'all need to review a few Greg J. Stoker videos. Is he related to the Dracula guy? Or is it
that's what I was thinking, Bram Stoker.
Yeah. Sid Dave said, is it okay to name my new German Shepherd Allah? Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's okay, but better to name him Muhammad.
It is actually very, very wonderful. Very wonderful. Yeah. Shmadelia said, in case I missed it, did either of you talk with Khalil and Dani again after AP's Islam versus Christianity versus atheism video? AP was hated. I actually contacted him after a long time.
To apologize?
No, actually, yeah, I actually did say, I actually contacted him and said, hey, you know what? I think we kind of got off the wrong foot together. And although I do think that your approach was wrong and disrespectful, I have not been my best self. I was also quite disrespectful and impatient. So I'd like to apologize for that. I actually did say that to him. So
That's good.
I want to admit
you apologize. It's good you apologize for treating a guest so horribly on your channel.
I want to admit it that I apologized like a weakling to Dr. Khalil Andani, and yeah, that's actually what I said. And he was very happy about that, and he also apologized. And yeah, that's it. But then we didn't talk further. He did float the idea of having a conversation about Israel Hamas or Israel Palestine issue, but I didn't really consider that. Peace be upon me, said Leatherus Therapius, a Greek historian. Yeah.
How about no?
It's true. There is somebody shared a scientific finding here, a scientific fact. Oh yeah, did you know this? This is I recently saw this in a scientific paper. This fact, David.
Hmm.
Yeah,
that is a miracle.
Yeah. Thank you. But thank you for pointing it out. I forgot. Yeah. Heat Blair said, when we flood the tunnels, they'll get 72 mermaids. Nice. That's nice.
That'll be a funny tweet. You should steal that one. Just when you share a post about flooding the tunnels and then say they'll get 72 mermaids.
That's good. That is pretty good. Chloe said, thanks, AP. Sorry, all you need GPT-4 plus use custom. I have GPT-4 plus. I subscribed to ChatGPT as soon as it came out because I love AI information projects. I believe they are the future, and I hope that in the future we are ruled by AI, and our government becomes AI, and a technocratic government where humans are mere pawns and everything is ruled by a system rules over us. That will be a fantastic future. And you don't even know if I'm joking or not, because it sounds like I'm joking, but maybe I'm not. Vinicius Mora said about this right to return thing. Should Jews be allowed to reclaim what was stolen from them when they were expelled from Arab countries too? Yes, they should be. They should all be allowed to reclaim all of the countries which they fled from. Yes. Sid Dave said, AP, David Wood are like Batman and Robin fighting Joker Islam. It's not true. It's not true at all. We are the villains. Islam is the good guy here.
You're a villain.
Sankey said, why your Quran's all Arab? Tastes better than translated.
Yeah, they tell us it doesn't really count. It doesn't really count if it's translated.
Yeah, it's true.
Goes down way smoother too. Way smoother in Arabic.
Francis Boyer said, from river to sea, Quran covered in camel pee. That's nice.
It's just, the thing is, that's not an insult in Islam. Of course, camel pee, true.
I didn't really think that's true. Yeah. I didn't really think about that.
Camel pee is the Zamzam water of the camel.
Storgo Vafson said, end the occupation and Israel. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm officially a goat now. I'm officially the goat.
Hey, now, for people who told you to eat the entire Quran, imagine feeding the entire Quran to a goat and then eating the goat.
That's nice. That's nice. But you have to wait. You have to be quick. Like as soon as it eats the Quran, before it goes through the system, you have to eat the goat alive. Man. Okay. Yeah. And the occupation. Yes. That's it. Anything else you want to add to this? Brilliant.
Nope.
gathering?
We've said it all. We've said
No,
it all, and there's
you said it.
there's more Quran for tomorrow.
Inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Tomorrow we will gather once again to discuss and to comment on the currently heated discussions on all of the discussions. Until then, have a very interesting day. And as always, fine, one more. Sid Dave said, David Wood, what do you think of these Islamic claims of Noah, Adam being buried in Iraq, Turkey? Have they made the stuff up like Abraham in Mecca? What do you think, David? What is your answer to this question?
I don't know. I'm guessing some of it is like local tradition and so on. So yeah, I don't know. It is pretty common to make stuff up to kind of make like some sort of like pilgrimage site or something like that. Like if I said, oh, this great person is buried next door to me and something like that. But yeah, I have no idea.
Stuff is horrible, man. Jetma said same future as Islam world. AI.
It's what they call an acquired taste.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to keep eating it, and it tastes better and better and better.
You have to submit to the taste. The Sahih Maskri said, it seems like the tunnels of Hamas will finally receive the river and the sea that they desperately want. It gets darker underwater. That's a good point.
It's a miracle. How could the Quran know that? Yeah. That'd be like Ali Dawa. Look, it said in the Quran that you go down the layers upon layers, and now the Hamas is they're saying that it's actually true. It's actually true that it does get dark in the tunnel down there that's been flooded. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I wish there was? I wish there were channels that actually did like proper, interestingly, like good, mature takes on criticizing Islam instead of doing, things like chewing the Quran.
Yeah, it's like stupid, childish stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like serious critiques, like breaking down arguments and stuff, right? Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah. So there's a piece of Quran stuck in my tongue. Seems like, yeah, okay. I'm just spitting out Quran pages now. This is ridiculous.
Disgusting. Eat the Quran responsibly, folks.
Yes.
Not like this slob here.
Yeah. Terrible. Disgusting.
Don't be a Quran slob.
Quran slob. All right. I'll see you again tomorrow at the same time, right here on this channel. We'll talk about some really interesting things together with my friend David Wood. Expecting y'all tomorrow. David, anything else you want to say?
Why is someone saying shares a link to Mary's channel? Is something going on over on Mary's channel?
Mary's channel? I don't know.
Or you just want the link to Mary's channel?
Too many Marys.
Are they live over there?
Too many Marys. Nope.
No? Someone just wants the link to it?
Because she doesn't even have subscribers. Because she doesn't even publish videos.
Well, she's normally live over on Sadius's channel. Maybe they want the link to Sadius's channel. That's where she's normally live. I'll give it real quick.
Don't speak with food in your mouth. First, spit out the Quran.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah. Okay. And then, with that said, we will see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic
Thaddeus's channel is Reasoned Answers. Just search for it. Reasoned Answers. It's right there, everyone.
I shall link that, actually. Reasoned Answers. That's how you say it. Actually, that's the real pronunciation of it. Reasoned Answers. Okay. I'll pin it right here, and you can go right there. I pinned it right here, and you can have it right here. Huh? Where'd it go? Okay, here it is. Pin message. Okay, have a good day, and as always,
stay away from Islam.